Yeah, I bought the dip after the reach $3 plus and whatever I sold up there, so and I bought by like a I buy between 250 to 260 around there, so and I just checked my Mayberry account and there's some Fresco shares I forgot existed sitting on over from IPO with some Lombard shares from IPO.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the safety guys had to be, big up Mayberry for that.
Big up Mayberry for big up Mayberry for having shares to forget. Because we can't trade over there really.
every single time, I have it. Because I was thinking the same thing about some Jam T shares. And I was like, oh boy, I guess it's all right. I don't really have any. Turn out, no, I do have some. It's just that at Mayberry. Which I don't mind. That's great. I
have quite a lot of Jam T shares, so and not in a place I could forget. So yeah.
Yeah. But what Alexa, since you gave us such a wonderful story, and thank you. I hope the people get something from that.
Yeah.
But you asked something about the market, and this is a show about the stock market. It's not a business show. We're not the news. If you want the news, watch the news. If you want business show, link Kalila. But if you want to talk to some people who can actually explain it in language that you use and understand, that's us. So what you wanted to know about the chicken market, and you had asked about the chicken market.
The increased prices that are coming. Granted, I don't remember how they've recently increased already, right? A couple of months ago, if I'm remembering correctly, which is why KFC said them there. So I don't know. But for the person who might be looking for how do I offset this, because I have to eat chicken. It's one of the cheaper meats or whatever. How does one offset the increased prices? How can one benefit from the increased prices also? Those are kind of like my questions.
All right. Well, it's actually a very interesting one, because the thing that Dana is referencing is actually, do you know what you're referencing, Dana? Because I think people just hear chicken and go, but what exactly was said?
Jamaica Broilers?
Well, yeah. So Jamaica Brothers is the listed company that has a lot of chicken, right?
Right.
But what exactly was said? The price of chicken is high. Jamaica Brothers has said that they've had to take some price increases, I believe.
Right, because of raw material costs or whatever.
And the minister, I might get his name wrong. Young Pernell Charles
Junior.
Pernell Charles Jr. Thank you, Pernell Charles Jr. By the way, we are live on YouTube now, so in case anybody's watching us on YouTube, we are live on YouTube. And you should hear us. Sorry, I think there's still a delay, but at least you can hear us a little bit. We'll try to sort that out soon enough. But you can still hear and see us. And at times you can see our wonderful My Money JA sponsorship flowing through with our one data, and you'll see it sometimes. But yeah, so you mentioned the chicken thing, and I remember what I've seen is from Pernell Charles Jr. saying that due to what's happening in the chicken market, essentially, they have to start allowing the importing of, what was it, leg quarters?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what I...
Yeah, man. The Twitter feed is hilarious.
Yes. Say that again, Danhai?
The Twitter feed is hilarious.
Oh, well, what are people saying? Sometimes I'm afraid to see,
Somebody said, I need the verdict on whether Mr. Excel was capping or not.
Oh, wow. Well, Mr. Excel should be joining us. Lord Capalat should be joining us a little later, and we'll definitely be going into that. That's going to be an interesting one.
Very interesting.
Yeah, until he's here, when he gets here and sends the request, we'll do it. I like the suspense until then. What was I saying?
I hope him don't forget.
Chicken market. Say that again?
I hope him don't forget.
I doubt he'll forget. I doubt he'll forget.
But yo, man, boots up, prepare. Drinking roots.
right, sorry to confuse the people who don't know what's going on. Back to the chicken thing. So the minister said that, well, the government is now allowing the importing of leg quarters, I think they said, to allow the market to not face a shortage, because there's heavy shortage, right? If you also think about it, we've also had more tourists in the island over the last 6 or so months, and tourists eat just like other rest of us. Some they might eat more than some of us, right? And if the tourists are also pulling from the chicken supply, and we are pulling from the chicken supply, and we're home more, so maybe, well, not that you're home or we're maybe eating more, but the supply has been under pressure. The prices have been going up, and the funny thing about it is that I like to say that chicken prices in Jamaica are a lot like, how do I put this? They're a lot like cement prices. They're artificially high. So the price of chicken in Jamaica is artificially high, right? Meaning chicken costs less money everywhere around the world. The government puts a tariff on the import of chicken to allow the cheap chicken that is all over the world, cheap in terms of the cost, to not easily come in, right? The same thing for cement. Cement is pretty cheap many other places in the world. There's an import tariff and an import quota system in Jamaica to stop cheap things from flooding into the market, and thereby allowing our local companies to maintain their market share, right? So chicken in Jamaica is expensive because the law helps it to be expensive. That's been that way for decades. But now they're no longer allowing leg quarters to face tariffs, right? So the quarter chicken, like you get, well, let me not say any company name here, but the quarter chicken, the leg quarters are coming a lot cheaper now. And of course, that means that the people who would have benefited from the law making chicken expensive are now facing a bit of threat from imported chicken, right? And their only option then is either they can also get some of the cheap imported chicken and sell it because they already have, let's say, the distribution or the market, or they just get joke. I saw an article, I think it was yesterday. I was doing Grow, and there was an article on it. I think I saved it. There was an article on it was a very interesting article. I think I saw it in the Evermickle news feed. So if you give me a second, you can see it on your screen, at least on YouTube, or if you're watching us on, I think, the Twitter stream. Okay, yeah. So it's an article in the Jamaica Observer, and it's asking why build American farmers, right? Jamaica Broilers, Jamaica Broilers, who of course is the local, I think the largest, Danhai, you know?
Broilers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Again, a bit larger than CB.
Yeah. So they were doubling down on their opposition to the leg quarter imports. Of course, I'm going to read the whole article, but the chicken producers locally are just saying that, they are against the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries suspending the tariffs on leg quarters so that Jamaicans can buy chicken meat at cheaper prices. Because yes, the chicken from outside Jamaica is cheaper, but obviously that means that the local people are going to get the beating, right? I won't read the whole article. The point is that I think a lot of the important points are in the end near this part, and the Jamaica Agricultural Society, I'll read that part. President Lenworth Fulton stated this week that the pending removal of duties places the progress and investment made by over 150,000 small farmers in great jeopardy. They took their remittances, their partner payout, them severance pay, them small business, them family loan, and them invested in the construction of a chicken house and the production of poultry. In other words, people take their money put together and then go in the chicken business, right? And now if the government removes this thing, which makes cheap chicken come in, then those people are going to face the brunt of it. In fact, he said that the bigger companies may withstand the impact of the proposed measure, but our small farmers who are producing chicken for sale at $240 to $290 per pound, they will not be able to stand up to it, right? So the cheap chicken will definitely hit out the small man and woman, and the more the richer companies such as Jamaica Broilers would have a better chance of surviving because they have so much money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you notice here, there's two numbers that you might want to pay attention to. The regular chicken producer produces chicken at $240 to $290 per pound, while what is likely and can be imported would allow what is that number? It just leg quarters to come in for as cheap as $160 per pound, right? So definitely the local person get wiped out. Roughly a year ago, I tweeted out something saying that, if you know anybody who was looking to go into the chicken business, maybe you want to tell them to just look into something else. It was around seeing something like this happening, right? No, I don't think the real story is being told here, and I'm not going to play journalist and tell the real. Do you want to tell the real story? But I tell you that my general thinking is that there are quite a few of those industries in Jamaica that are expensive in Jamaica and only in Jamaica because of the law, so protected by tariff. I feel like some of those laws have either to be sunset, so they have to be taken out of law, or we have maybe signed some agreement that had a timeline along which we would no longer protect our market, because these are what they call protectionist moves. And I think some of those are expiring. I mentioned the one around cement. I don't know that that's expiring, but I know that cement is artificially expensive in Jamaica. It's cheaper to make elsewhere. And I know chicken is also the same. I feel like there are these laws that are set to expire. And so everybody who is involved in the industry, why am I boring you with all of this? Everybody who is involved in industry is being very careful about how it is that the exiting of this thing happens, right? So how they exit is very, very important to them because they don't want to have the wrong impression. Nobody wants to seem to be taking the blame. And I see some evidence of things like that from things like this article, which says that Jamaica Broilers is doubling down on their opposition to the leg quarter imports. The article is called "Why Build American Farmers?" Because obviously in America, they can raise chickens at scale, huge scale. And then just to send some shipments to Jamaica, that's like a tiny fraction of the scale at which they can produce things. And if they're producing it at scale for cheaper than it's being produced in Jamaica, and you can ship it to Jamaica for cheap, you can wipe out the market locally, right? And so the question then is, if you allow the American imports to come in, you are building American farmers, but wiping out the local arm of things, right? And this is where like a little bit of research come in to see who is really involved, if they have a protection method for themselves. Jamaica Broilers is the listed company that is deeply in chicken. And if you look at like what's happening now, with just what that company is, you'll see Jamaica Broilers, wonderful company, been around forever. They do business in more than three places, but three main places. Jamaica, Haiti, and the US. The profit from Jamaica up to the end of October was 1.5 billion. Profit from Haiti was a loss of 8.5 million. And the profit from their US operations is 1.1 billion. So to me, it looks like Jamaica Broilers is definitely in a great position when this, if this is to continue in the future. It looks to me like Jamaica Broilers might actually end up making a little bit of profit here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not hearing you.
No, man, I just asking what you think. I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, yeah, yes.
What do you think? Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense. Just thinking about the US operation, if they can, just the moment they start pushing that volume, because if that much volume opens up in Jamaica for that, then they're good. And they already have distribution partners and everything there. So they really have a thing there. They have the framework down here and just send from America. Easy. So works out well for them. It can work out well for them. Let me say it like that.
Yeah, I think it can. And I saw this like a year or so ago where to me it looked like the setup for it, right? They have an entire
it's funny.
setup in the US.
I think you did on an early season episode. They said it. Somebody said it back to me the other day.
Yeah, actually, I think I did say it on an earnings season episode that look out for eventually the tariff get dropped, and so Jamaica Brothers they've set themselves up in anticipation of that. So they have an entire US vertical. So who then knows at the head of the race to possibly win out when we go back to importing from overseas. Could them have an entire overseas import? Entire overseas vertical, and so they can send chicken here very, very cheaply. And I look at that and look at them saying, they're opposed to it. Okay, that's like me being opposed to gas prices going up, but I own a lot of Fesco. Right? That's evidence of a large company doing complain and profit. All right. So if you think it's just me, see there, these guys have protected themselves. The most you can do is protect yourself also. Does that mean that you run and buy Jamaica Broilers shares? No, I think up to this week or last week, I was saying that I would not, I personally would not buy Jamaica Broilers shares, but I can see how some people could choose to, depending on their timeline and their goal and whatever. You have any your clients asking about Jamaica Broilers recently, Danhai?
Yeah, one message today, and I said, okay, I'll get back to her. Me and her talking. But my issue, it's exactly that. The difference between, okay, cool, you identify whatever for Jamaica Broilers, you see an opportunity, but it doesn't mean you have to go to it. Look, what's the goal you have in mind? What's the goal? I have to check her portfolio if it matches that goal. So at that point, we'll determine. Otherwise,
that's a real consideration. And I should take this point. Go ahead, Danhai.
No, yeah. I think that the usual, all right, cool, chicken price going up, so you know where you spend more, so that's where you put more of your money. That makes sense if you're being more passive about it. If your goal is, I need to make X by whatever, then you don't have the luxury of saying, I like this company, so I'm buying it. Or cool, this price go up, so I can stop right there, as that's the line where I buy the company. You have to say, all right, cool, what's my goal? Does buying this company fit the goal I have in mind for it? Because I don't get X return from this company in that timeline. Then go ahead. That's all you. If it works out. But if I need X by X, and it's Jamaica Brothers saying not going to work out profitable for me at that time, then you can't read it. So it works if you're passive. And I think you do a lot of that in talking in general. You know a lot of people, they more learn about investment, but they want to take it from a standpoint. I just want to understand so I can do it, not necessarily do the 100% and whatever, all that movement. So like DCA, that type of passive thing, if it not necessarily DCA works out really well. But if you're looking from just boy, I want to get into stocks, I don't really know where to start. That's a very good place to start because it aligns you with Jano. Okay, I know what value looks like from a company's side, so I can buy into this on what basis. It really helps the start of the journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right? Somebody said that they're ready for brick talk. Who was that? I think that was Jerry just now. They're ready for brick talk with
21 years. Remember that was a group tradition though, remember?
Yeah.
Before COVID.
Tradition is COVID come slow it up, but adult alcohol only. Big up Appleton, by the way.
Bring 50 years to them there.
Right? All right. Thank you very much for that, Dana. That's a great question. I hope you got enough of an answer. And of course, you have, as you said publicly. I don't always say it when people have done it publicly, but you have joined the Grow Subscriber group, and it has been working out well for you so far. And your sessions with Danhai have been working out well for you so far. My girl said she got 300% profit on a pick, and then she sell it.
Thing there.
Because I needed the money.
If it wasn't Dana business, if it wasn't Dana business, I would share a specific part of Dana's journey, which is very funny. She's been investing for 2 years. I would contest that specifically because of some of the things that you did before. So
Like also, you can
I can.
talk.
Okay, sure. Dana is in real estate, and she seems way more enthused about the stock market returns than real estate
Listen.
returns.
Oh my God. They are
Yo,
for real.
Dana, have you hit that? I know I'm cutting you, Dana, but I asked him because of a specific thing. Again, a conversation I had. I did split grow this week, and at the end of part one, the group of us were talking pretty late. And that's another lady does real estate, and she has an apartment already, and she out there. She say, it's profitable. And I say, okay, how is it profitable? Meaning what she has been doing has been profitable. So how is it profitable? So she's making money from it already. She's making money from the place that she has. And part of why she's making money from it is because also she put a whole heap of payments to her mortgage. So, she's knocked off a lot of the mortgage, which is good. And then I said to her, I said, but if you put a lot of payments to knock off the mortgage, and it's not profitable because you have to factor in those payments. And she said, oh yeah, but
because you're buying the equity.
It is that thing that a lot of people are tempted to do, where if I get especially if I get a money I wasn't expecting and I use it to pay off a heavy bill, the returns that I now get because I've paid off that bill, I consider it profit. And I tell nobody not to do it. If that gives you peace of mind, that's cool. Just understand that it don't work that way mathematically. Right? You have to count the money that go in as that's part of the investment that you need the return on. And I said all of that to say that I rarely ever meet anybody who is actually profitably doing real estate investing.
That is the long term, the investing for long term, and I'm putting my hands up in quotation marks.
Yeah, it's not that you don't make money. It's that the point at which you are actually truly profitable tends to come way down, or you choose to ignore a lot of your input costs.
And yes, you know a lot of them. I know a lot of them. I think people think we're talking like when we talk about the situation, but no. If you check how much money you put into those over the years, you think that versus what if when you tell me that the equity gone up and I made X from thing there, or if I again from the yearly returns from renting or whatever, check how much you put into those. Right? And then check that against how long it takes and how much return you actually get after that long time.
Yeah. And that's not to knock real estate investing.
Oh, definitely not.
Please,
do things that work for you. Just don't do real estate because real estate is the thing to do. Do it because what I'm getting from real estate is what I'm actually looking for in this investment.
Right.
Exactly.
What I will say is that I had a lot of plans to get deeper into real estate, and then the reality of real estate licked me because I'm kind of heavy in it, not heavy in it, but it's not for the faint of heart, I can tell you that. And well, even not just real estate, because I've also had my own business, and have to wait a year to get something important so that I could build the business, and when it ready, I'm done. I'm a lot the shop. It's not for the faint of heart. And with that particular business, you also, where it is, the location is great because it's heavily trafficked, but it's also heavily trafficked. So you don't want people knowing who you are. And I think the beauty of this is that, don't make Danhai make anything say I have money. I don't have money, right? I'm not rich.
Then I wouldn't say that one,
But
go ahead.
There are some realities that sometimes you have to do things to understand for yourself. And having done, or I'm still doing real estate. I do real estate. I work full time and was also doing that shop thing. And then you have to balance the heavy cons that come along with that, like somebody come in there and why I can't take your money. Just that's not it's not an easy road, and I'm not trying to dissuade people from doing it, but what I have found is that this is another good avenue to make income. People don't have to see your face. It's not as taxing. You don't fret when a certain person call your phone because you're like, shit, something gone wrong. And you have to spend a bag of money on something. You understand? So, there are pros and cons to everything, but this definitely, it made me feel like I can breathe again, to be very honest, because the other things can be very, very taxing.
Go through Mama Celine.
What does that mean? Anyway, so now hear from me for the rest of the night. Have a good night.
Good night, man.
Is it Celine or is it Tony? It's Tony Braxton. That's all.
Breathe again. I will sing that.
Breathe again.
Tony Braxton.
Breathe again. Tony Braxton. Sorry.
Yes.
About Celine.
Because I was confused.
Celine are the OG.
Yeah. Celine is only cleaning the house. Yeah. But I like that you saying. I'm glad that you're saying it and not us. Because when we say it can get repetitive and people think, oh, them just saying it. Like, no, people, it's a real thing. For the first that you can make the same sort of money as if you have a little hustle on the side, without the worry of the hustle, without the threat of the hustle, without the time of the hustle, without the stress of the hustle. And I always tell people, if you already have the hustle on the side, this is one of the best ways to complement it. Like, there are many people out there who have them small business that they're doing, and the small business goes through a period or a little rough times hit, and if they could just survive 2 or 3 more months, it could have blown up. Or sometimes, if I just did have maybe an extra $500,000 or $1 million, I could have get something that really grow the business. But all them have is them 9 to 5 and them hustle. If you start investing, a lot of times you find, especially the longer you do it for, you find that investing becomes the third wheel that can almost become the main wheel.
I was going to say, it's probably just the main wheel. I've said to some people, I don't know how much I've said it, I don't think a lot, but I remember back in the past when I was when I first started off, I need to branch out. I need to be more than just what I'm doing now in the investing space. I was working somewhere. Them time like a year in or so. And I was talking to you, and the time my bridging, I was trying to set up a farm, get a farm going. Because my thought was, I'm doing so well on the market, I'm broke, So I don't ask the farm thing and about the money for no farm, but I could have gotten access to a land and then I'd work it out there. Right? But when the broke man, bank just turned on a loan I was trying to get to put in the market and whatever. And I was talking to you about the farm idea. And I said, we were talking about stocks like a couple of days straight, talking about stocks and what was good on the market. And what in my head was about 200 grand, how far that can go. And I said, the farm thing, say, I was probably just do the farm, and the farm can be a cash cow. And your response was, the cash cow make some bag of money and put that on the market. But you were thinking about practically, if you have the money in the market, if you're going to do the farm, you're going to take the money out of the market, put on the farm and whatever. But your response to me was, the market is a cash cow. And trust me, it's like a turn left and say a whole new world and everything. And at that point, never turn back. And we made a lot of money that year. So it's a shift in thinking. It's a shift in thinking that you have to have. And oftentimes people approach stocks with them already have a preconceived notion of what it requires, what's going to happen in there. Anything good them hear, them already know what it is. Anything bad them hear, them they already expect that. And so that they almost can't enjoy and truly really make the most that they should and can on the market because them already decide what it is. The biggest thing I hear or when people talking about stocks is them they start off with, well, I can't do what you do, because I don't have they say something that sounds like they can do it. I don't have the time. I say, what kind of time do you really think I have? What kind of time do you really think I have? You don't really know, If you live with me, you realize I use up a lot of my time. I don't really have that much time. Then I also think, well, I'm not the second one, which is probably the most popular one. But I have big money like you. Jeez, I hate hearing that. Yeah.
Because you don't know how much money I have. You don't see how much money I have. And when I do tell you about how I start, it's like people just choose to disbelieve, but it don't take nothing.
Yeah, man. The Jamaican thing, man. So, somehow, if you make it a drugs, if
of course,
you have money, you'll always have it. I said,
And that don't make sense to me. But if you can take anything from our little talk just now, and again, thank you again, Dana, for even more points there. Yeah, man. That the point is that you already have enough knowledge. If you're listening to this, chances are you already have enough knowledge to invest successfully, and you already have enough money to invest successfully. And the best investment is the one that matches your life already. So if you think you have a lot of time, then there's a way to invest and make a lot of money that involves you not spending a lot of time. I mean, there is some compromise somewhere, but there's always some compromise somewhere, right? But those things say you have to be in front of a computer every single day, like that, or you can't make any money.
Yeah, I thinking about that actually, didn't I? Yesterday.
Yeah, people don't believe when you tweeted and things. You just try to sell something.
I wasn't even thinking what I was saying. I would say investing is really generally as a boring act. The things that I find funny about the market have nothing to do with putting in a buy order or waiting on the profit to come.
That part is dreary.
Yeah, people believe that the man always spend doing that. That's where you make the money. So if I look at the market every day and I look at this chart and whatever, or the queues every day, or the queue, what fly in and out of the queues every single day, it will inform you. But it doesn't. That by itself does not make it any more money. Like if I bought CPJ at $3 and every single day I watch it on the queue and did nothing else, and I still make the same money. And if I buy it at $3 and go to my bed and I chill every day, sleep and do what I want to do, the same money would I make.
Nope. I don't think people realize that like the act of making money don't involve you really. You're like, we're not the ones doing anything, right? CPJ give the people who invested December 31st, 2020. If you put all your money in CPJ then, you put $1 million in CPJ then, or maybe it's about 100 grand, whatever it was. At the end of 2021, December 31st, 2021, you'd have 500. Your money would have quintupled.
Yeah, that word.
Your money would have quinted well for you. I couldn't help myself. 5x, right? You'd have grown more than 500%, 400% profit. So your 100 grand turned $500,000. If you put $1 million in, you'd have $5 million at the end of the year. You did nothing at CPJ for that to happen. CPJ have an entire workforce in Mobile, Kingston, St. Lucia, and other people. You have done nothing to actually get that 500%. Yet if I'm telling somebody that that's possible, they choose to think that the only reason I would have gotten that is because I was in front of my computer going, no. No, the research, a lot of research does happen, yes. That's why Grow rich with research. But outside of that, once you've done the research and you've made the bet and you click buy, it's boring after that point. It's boring until you check back your account and you see, hold on.
5x.
CPJ. But yeah, you can see it. All right, let me pause again and go through the next person that was in line. I don't know if Phil, you had something to say, or was it Alric? Alric, we usually have you come on first, Alric late this week.
Yeah. Good night.
Alric.
Guys, yeah, man. Randy, I'm gonna ask a question at the end, but let me just say this. So this is a good week.
For you.
Yeah, but I guess for a lot of other people too.
Why?
It has been a good month. My picks have done really well. They continue to do so.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Actually today I was at the barber and I was saying to the barber, "Hurry up and trim my son." But both of us went, and I wanted to come back in time for the market to open because I wanted to put in a particular order. But I came back at around 11 o'clock. And when I saw what was happening, I said, boy.
So you got to buy in the morning?
Yeah.
Money life, brother.
I'm telling you, I should have gone for last night, man. Trust me.
Your barber should come to you, but go on, son.
Yeah. When I came back about 11 o'clock, I see what was happening. I said, but wait, this is not money being made. This is actually money being, it's like somebody that dash your money and you can just walk and pick it up. No, seriously. I said, boy, this is amazing. So if there's anybody who had an issue or who had a little money and wanted to say, you know, you say you want to pay your light bill or get a grocery bill or anything out, you could actually make it today or during the course of this month.
Jaja.
You know? And I'm
Tell
telling
people
you,
you just make the money from, man. Because you sound excited.
no, all right. So some of it is unrealized because I haven't actually sold anything.
That's fine. That's still money made.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's the money. We count it.
Still money made. But I actually bought and sold massive today.
What that say?
Yeah, but
Are you the Trinidadian investor we've been hearing about who is selling for liquidity?
No.
US dollar?
yeah, no, don't do me like that, man. But I'm just saying there were so many stocks over this week. There were about 25 of them, Randy. I could have over this month that I'm saying have been money bangers. You could actually make short-term gains, good short-term gains from those stocks, a wide variety of stocks.
I see Shanice in the chat. I see Shan in the chat. Send up the top striker Shan. Send some 100 emojis. I hear an echo. Sorry.
Oh, Alric.
Alec, that echo is on your side?
Alric.
One second. I don't think so, but let me. All right. But what I want to say is, Randy, really, the market seems to be setting up itself or being revved in a particular way where, and I think when I look at the business environment and look at what is happening, you can actually feel eyes on us. So I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line the market gets a springboard and is catapulted even more than it's going now. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if
write that down.
Don't be surprised if you a big guy coming and he could make an offer for a listed company.
No, we have an offer on the table.
Yeah,
this week or last week.
yeah. But I mean that's
it's a much bigger. It's like a much bigger piece of much bigger pie you're talking about.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. And I think the market.
Where's the jam tea?
Well, it could be anybody, you know. Anybody that has a presence, and I mean the one that is out there now. Yeah, I don't think that is the one that I'm anticipating. That could happen, but
I don't call any more names.
Right, but don't be surprised. It could happen. I remember 2015 when I was looking at a particular stock that was trading in a narrow band. I think somewhere between $4 and $7. And I bought something and I said, why? And then short after that, the announcement came that Heineken wanted to buy DNG and was offering $31 per share. And I just kicked my teeth. As I said, boy, money, you know, this is money for me. And after that, the actual DNG deal actually pulled the rest of the market. The market was actually doing well enough, but that kind of pulled the market even further. And they had a whole lot of stuff.
It made it our best year ever. Because of that Diageo.
Best year ever, I'm telling you, man. So
I'm gonna ask you if you've ever seen us. Have you ever seen us surprised?
No.
In fact, I can tell you this: if I'm surprised, I take that as a
very important.
If I'm surprised, I take that as a bad thing.
Yeah.
You never saw something.
Right.
I should not be surprised like that. I love a surprise. Don't get me wrong. I love a surprise, but I should not be surprised.
Yeah. So
what you say that you sound like you're saying something that the people. I know we wouldn't want this secret talk, brother. So tell me about it.
No. Well, just keep your ears to the ground.
Ears are to the ground, man. But this is our ears to the ground right now. So
all right. So nothing won't miss you then. Just keep your eyes open.
Oh Lord, man. That's someone who did the show for, brother.
Yeah. Right. But
all right. Well, no, you can't say right button and leave it. You have to talk. You have to tell the people something. They want to hear something, man. I guess now wicked echo and I can't figure out where am I
because of echo. So when you speak, Yeah.
All right, I won't stay too long because I'm not sure what's happening. But
only thing there, only unmute when you're speaking. So mute when you're not speaking.
All right. Yeah. So interesting times ahead, Randy, and I think that we all should get ready for what I would call
I have one person, I have one company firmly in mind with my ass. Cool.
A wild ride.
Like what? I'll tell you what I've been saying. All right? I've been saying privately that Q1 looks like the perfect storm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling it the perfect storm.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot lined up that could be great, right? But I think you'd like to talk. You said maybe there'd be a springboard. You never know what could come. We know a couple of things that could come.
Yeah, we know a couple of things, but we know a couple of things, and yeah, but I mean something that is what should I say? Unexpected is that
for you?
Is it unexpected?
No,
wait, I don't know if you're unexpected. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're saying.
Because I'm actually the one saying it, so I expect it to happen. But I mean, for other persons,
tell me what it is now.
That they expect.
The blind expectation of a help. Tell me what it is.
It's not him at all, because then I don't know what the hell I'm looking for.
I'm not in a position. No, I don't think it's wise for me to say.
You're not in a position to stay?
No, I don't think it's wise for me to say right now. Just put it
okay. Okay.
All right, boss.
Well, what area do you think this great thing will be in?
Well, I was looking manufacturing, distribution, or finance.
I need to check your messages.
No, I know why Danhai laughing, but
how you know why Danhai laughing, but you don't know what the people say? Yeah, that is. But I think him ask us every week about that.
I don't even thinking about that. I don't even thinking why. My why is specifically a conversation we had around that specific thing and why they're making specific move.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we spoke about it. We can talk about it again, Danhai,
publicly,
if you
actually.
Want.
Yes.
Yeah. We spoke about it.
I mean, when we first said it, nothing about Gusto, remember?
Yeah. There's a whole heap of derision at the time. No, I think the talk is switching. I mean, there's GK. I could talk about GK for a while and be surprised at them moving in the first quarter when they told us literally a year or two ago that they moved in then. They told us 2 years ago. The signs were there up to 2.5 years ago. I think a year ago, them tell us first quarter of 2022. And why on earth would we be surprised in the first quarter of 2022? No, Alric, if they were
in December. In December, they also were meeting with their investment banking partners.
Yeah, I know.
And they spoke about possibly listing on an overseas market.
It's funny. I always hear the foreign listing, and people say it's an end there. They stop right there. So as if that's a great part about it, being listed abroad.
Recognition, they get something they've heard. They don't really know what it is that they're saying, so they just repeat what they heard and thinking it without thinking it through.
Yeah. So why is it on a foreign market? To get recognition globally. Clout. Get some clout. Street cred go up,
Yeah. Enough retweets. Listen. We've been telling people for a while, and we continue to tell people we're not going to tease them needlessly. Those companies, there are a lot of companies that are massive in Jamaica that have huge potential, and some of them have spoken about their potential, and you've had loads of opportunities to get into them, and there's still loads of opportunities to get into them because they're all on sale on the market every single day. But if you wait until the race is finished being run to bet on who won the race, then don't be surprised that you don't really get it. You have to put the bets in. I don't like using the bet analogy, but it works really well in this case. You have to bet on the winner of the race before the race is done. I've heard it said that people say, what you expect us to predict stock prices?
Yeah.
That is the game. That is what
that's exactly doing. What I think the apprehension to that is immediately. Eric, you can just mute.
No, man, I muted him. I muted him just now. I think the apprehension to that is that they might get it wrong.
Yes, I think they don't get that. That's just a part of it. You predict and you get wrong. You predict and you're right, and that's all we're trying to predict and be as right as possible as much time as possible. That's all we do.
Yeah, that's the point of it.
But predicting it doesn't mean you're a thing there. You're a fortune teller or whatever. You're a crystal ball. It doesn't mean
speculating.
you're right or wrong. And speculate. We are speculating. And in speculating, you end up with a prediction around what's going to happen, which is why you buy Fontana at 188 because you think it's going to 9.
Or 24.
Yeah, or that. I'll tell you what you think you're going to. But,
you pick up that lawyer that bought. That's now the second largest shareholder in Fontana, Abel Don.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know him, but I'm proud to see somebody doing that, and he's not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, really is that the change. I say that this year.
I have enough for going. I will have to do. I will have to happen when I'm 30 then. Where am I? Putting out there, they're not even 30 yet.
You're on a great road, brother. And a lot more people. It's not just you and the people over 30.
Definitely.
Don't worry, there's still lots of hope for us. Yeah, this is the year for it. There's no question. This is the year for it. Going back to that same massive point. I'm gonna throw a pet theory out there. Should I throw it now or should I wait until a little later? I see Malik just joined. I think I'll throw the pet theory out there and then maybe we'll jump to Malik. As considering this pet theory, people, no evidence, blind speculation. Barita is obviously has a relationship with Massey since they handled the listing by introduction yesterday. Mm-hmm. And Barita obviously has a presence in the Trinidadian market because they seem to have a good relationship with First Citizens also. And Massey is a truly massive company, right? Truly massive company. Well, I think it's the second largest company on the JSE right now.
I think so.
Yeah. Again, big up our data provider, My Money JA, who is allowing us to be able to actually see these points. So yeah, Massey is a truly massive company on the JSE, right? I think it's the second largest company on the JSE. And they have a relationship with Barita. Now, Barita has, at least after the APO that was done, not Barita's APO, but Derryman's APO, Barita has a associate stake in Derryman, which is a food and distribution company. Barita is the the brokerage house, financial investment bank linked to Cornerstone. I don't think they really care much about owning and being in control of a food and distribution company, right? And I would not be surprised if they were to sell their stake. And I wonder then if Massey would buy their stake, since Massey has a lot of money and a lot of investments that they often do from time to time and can do. And they do have a distribution presence in Jamaica, but then this would certainly strengthen it because detail is truly strong in certain areas of Jamaica. I think they're the biggest importer of rice in Jamaica. If leg quarters get free up now, then probably import a lot of leg quarters, so who knows? So Massey with a lot of money and Barita having a relationship with both those entities and owning more than 20% of detail, I could see Massey buying or being sold or being offered, who knows? I could see Massey being offered
that piece,
the detail stake by Barita, and that alone would be a massive thing. And of course, you look for signs of that. Some of the signs of that is detail acting like a company that wants to be acquired. Are they making themselves look good? Well, detail keep doing detail, right? And this is sort of second acquisition in a year.
Yeah, detail are going good for you. Yes.
Yeah, they did the APO and get that New York chain, and then they've now bought that spice company. I mean, I won't be surprised if they get bought. That's the truth. Or if maybe somebody big come buy them, you can never tell.
I remember back in the day. It's funny. We had a conversation around this back in the day, and you're talking about detail and the drive Cotterell has to build it, and how quick, how easy in the future you can see detail being the type of company people that look at Grace would look at. Yes, and easy start selling off whatever. Yeah, it's a good one for that man has built a good thing for himself and for shareholders. Not only him, right? Yeah, shareholders
Exactly. Exactly. Detail is something else. I mean, the share price not reflecting it.
You can't take your fundamentals to the bank, but yeah.
Well, yeah, the share price not reflecting it, but the company itself looks very strong, and you know how it goes. On news, any buyout news, this thing would fly.
Yeah, I really look at the PE. Detail. It's funny. A good amount of my clients probably heard that when we talk. If we spoke specifically about detail, we were waiting for this point. When the thing that start when the earnings start actually catching up and passing out the dilution. So we're very much at that point. You can see the PE. And the price has fallen in against it. So that's not a bad thing necessarily if you don't own the stock. So yeah. Good opportunity if it fits you. But the things to look for are quite a few. But I think if this were to happen, that'll be a great one.
Yeah.
As I said, but imagine buyout news on that queue.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be that. I mean, I don't think the queue would last. Again, thank you to my money.
It's a good thing. Again, it's to me, it's a straight. I read that news now at a certain order. And nobody will beat me in the morning. Like I'll get so much because what's to come after that. Yeah.
And then it's who's buying up Detail? Why are they buying? Well, I don't know. Detail, I think, is a company that nobody will speak against. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Yeah,
especially
it's a company everybody wants. Well, it's a signal of the food companies. Yeah. Why aren't people buying it for more? Which is like signals, which I gather moved today also. All right, let me take one more of the speakers that we just had. This one was waiting for a while. Yes, Allery?
Sorry to cut you. I had a question for you. Remember?
Yes, let's hear the question. And then we hear from Stuart.
Yeah, you and Danhai. Just one quick question. I know you normally give this prediction at the beginning of the year. What's your dark horse for this year?
No, we don't normally do anything like that, you know. In fact, I think was the dark horse mention of a barita given at the start of a year? Wasn't it just after in the middle of a year we were talking one time and you said it?
Yeah, I know Randy I think Randy had it for the last 2 years as his dark horse, right?
For longer than that, brother. I regret ever saying it.
Yeah.
Privately teasing that he gave the market out of vocabulary because people don't stop asking him about his dark horse now.
Yeah. I was at a Mayberry forum years ago, and a lady actually stood up and asked John Jackson after he made his presentation, what stock does he think is a dark horse? That was long before Cornerstone even bought it, and they said, well, nobody's looking at Barita. You go and look at it. Yeah, never forget that.
That's actually really great.
Huh?
That's actually really great.
Yeah, that was. But the markets, there are a few more companies that are going to move. Move in the first. So.
Yeah, which one?
Well, I expect. I don't know how much this will move, but I expect Express Catering. After the results come in, I think they'll do. I don't know, CPJ. I heard the CPJ CEO on Kalila's show saying that sales for the December quarter is actually triple the prior quarter. So when those results come in,
how come Father C never tell that he's in friend?
Yeah, man. Actually, he was on Kalila Enrique's show, and he said that he expect earnings for the December quarter to actually triple. So. Same time, you know, I'm start to lick my finger because I said, boy, look like this thing I get even nicer than me, you know, than I think.
Wow.
I read John Jackson's article, and he said that, you know, he sees it could go as high as $40. I mean,
who said that?
John Jackson.
Okay.
So
going $60 now.
let's hope. But
hope is not a strategy.
Yeah, but let's see. It could happen.
Seeing is not a strategy either. Buying is believing.
Yeah, man, buying is believing. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
man.
True.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been preaching We've been preaching CPJ for I don't know how long now.
A good while.
A good while. This is stuff like this. Yeah. Yeah. I saw somebody tweet that their CPJ price, their average price on CPJ is something like $8 or something small, and I like that. I feel good when I see people say things like that. I know they make some money.
Imagine the pushback if we were public about CPJ when we were first buying.
Yeah.
So I think, and John Jackson said it, there probably was some pushback in the market.
There was a little bit of pushback, and I think I wonder people, because even I don't tweet the way I used to, so I don't always say things out now because I'm not always trying to defend it or hear how crazy it is.
I definitely not putting it so I guess a client can hear it. So I guess all my talking done.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm telling you something,
I'm with you. I'll show some people this cool thing I saw for CPJ. For the people who I think it's too late, I hear when people come with that too late talk, I'll show people something that I saw that I thought was pretty cool. If you bought CPJ, like, so we know CPJ did the whole 5x for the year, right? But the reality is CPJ started to move after the full year results came out at the start of October. So you could have not bought CPJ until October.
Any at all until that point.
And you get it at the $5 a little bit, and you'd be good.
Imagine saying it's too late there.
And people say it's too late there because
people were saying it's
$2 little. Yeah, it tripled. It went up over 100% at that point. So it's too late. And as I always remind people, that nobody that knows what they're doing when it comes to investing, you'll hear them tell you that it's too late. You've never heard me say that. You won't hear Danhai say that. That's not a thing that people are really what them doing say.
It's usually a fair thing. Them see it gone up and then say, Jesus, it gone up already. How I know that it's going to continue going up? Because I really buying for. So that's the question you get.
Can you imagine skipping it at 5? Because at that point it's over 100% for the year. And then
I got a lot of that when I was telling people, yeah man, CPJ. You sure? Because it's up a lot, you know. I think I missed it.
It blows my mind when people pay you and then question you. Question what you tell them. Not that you shouldn't be questioned.
No, definitely question. But I know at what point it is. So if ask a question, whatever, we work it out. If we agree at that point, then fine. What I don't get is when we leave the session and the question continue. Like the question is, I don't know if we really do whatever, so I'm not going to buy it. You paid for a session. Let's take the advice. Again, I go back to the same thing. I need to find out Ryan said. If you're doing a thing yourself, you do your thing yourself. If you're an advisor, at least it's to the advisor, right? So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, imagine that. If you dodge it at 5 because you're up 100% for the year in October, I missed the boat. At 4 or 5 weeks later, it's now at 10. It got up another 100%. Imagine avoiding it at 10 because now you definitely missed the boat. Then it got 15. That's another 50% on the boat that you missed. And then you say, well, definitely I missed CPJ at 15 because I missed the boat. Today, they're almost 20.
Yeah, another 30% move.
Yeah, and it don't look like it's slowing down because people are in. I didn't know that he said that on Khalila's show. So look at that.
I started watching that. I'll make sure to watch that show, but distracted. My days have been hectic.
Well, big up Khali for that. Look on how it looks now. Look on how it looks now for the people who understand and are probably still buying. The volume's heavy, and look at this queue. Again, big up my money, JA, for the data or official data provider, but look at this queue.
And just got a thing there, just got a message. The chicken tariff has not yet been removed. They are considering it.
Considering it, but that sort of thing is not usually said without.
Yeah. So you just say those things so you can say it. We talked earlier, so when we say it again, as a thing we're doing, you're complaining this. You don't talk already. So that's.
Yeah, so you go. But yeah, CPJ remains wonderfully CPJ. I should point out at this point, some people might say it's a little too late. It's definitely not too late. I will remind everybody that this show is a wonderful show. Hopefully, I hope that you guys are enjoying it, but it is definitely not financial advice. I am not a licensed investment advisor. I don't give out investment advice. Danhai does, but not on this
But
show.
not
He does
here.
it in a proper session with you sitting down. So do not think that because we're talking about what we would do, what we wouldn't do, what we like, what we don't like, oh, I'm gonna buy this and say, oh, this definitely for buy more. It doesn't mean that you should follow it. All right. Please remember that this is not an advisory show. Speak to a licensed investment advisor about that. And I know the best one I know is, if you're watching us on YouTube, is in the other side of the screen right there. If you want a link, long time I don't share this link. I'll share a link to doing a session with Danhai, and the people who use this thing get a 5% discount, I believe. 5% discount, and I will share it with the tag Brick Talk now. So if you want to, you can sign up for it. Just give me a second to type, and in the meantime, let me bring on. Well, I have Stuart then Malik. So Stuart, what's up?
Hey, Sir Randy, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man, what's up?
What's up?
Well gone, Dan. I just wanted to tell you guys thank you, because on my bicycle I ride today, I had a pretty rough day, and I say, oh, I go do some workout and thing, and something happened to the seat. I'm going to drop off, and I carry it around to the liquor shop and make them fix it. While I'm waiting, something said to me, you haven't checked your market since today. I got my log in for my money, JA. And I say, hold on, is a mistake this? Is a practice portfolio? But me not have no practice portfolio. So I refresh the page. I see the same number come up again. I say, no, this not right. Something wrong with this. So I check every single transaction. I just want to make sure, say, brother,
it wasn't wrong.
Wanna do something. Wanna do something. Wanna do something. Wanna.
I'm trying to figure out why you doubt it.
No, I'm trying not to cry on the phone. That's what I'm trying not to do.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
The reason why I get so emotional, is because I really didn't think that I didn't think I could achieve this kind of success. I remember when I first started listening to Randy, before I even started doing the grow, and I think to myself, oh, okay, maybe I can get a piece of the success that I see Randy have. Maybe I can get a fraction. And when I started in grow, I was like, okay, maybe I can get a little bit more. Brother, I aced my quarter goal and would even reach the end of January. And last year I had a rough year until about October time. And well, I just want to say thank you to you and Danhai, to Jerry, to Shay, to Top Striker Shan, to Jerry, the brewmaster, to Diane, the assistant brewmaster, everybody, the whole grower community, the rookie group. Like, brother, if this go on for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's an army of people we're having. And every single financial institution is going to have to shift up. And we're already starting to see them having to make changes. JSC already getting afraid of my money, JA.
Whoa. Let's not say that. I think personally,
well,
I love
can
the
say
JSCs. I know that not on my show. I love the JSC's wonderful website upgrade. It looks good. I read an article about it. They paid over $70,000 US for that upgrade, and I love that about them. I love the upgrade. I've seen complaints, but I'm not one of them complaining. I love that website upgrade. And a lot of people don't know this. JSC is a listed company, so you can actually buy JSC shares. You can own the company JSC. It is a private company. So if you're looking on screen now, again, thanks to My Money JA, or wonderful data provider, you can see that you can buy JSC shares up to $16.84 as of today. And somebody selling for cheap on Monday morning, you can get 5,000 units at $16.70.
The last time he said JC is a private company, somebody said, oh, it's a private company public. So they think, so what you mean is it's not a government entity?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. People think of it like how they think of. I was going to say
FSC.
how they think of BOJ, which is also technically a private company, but it's owned by the government. But yeah, it's not a government thing. It is a private company. It's owned by the brokers. So and other shareholders that like you and me, if you wish. So yeah, I like the JSE's upgrade, and I hope they continue with it. And I hear they might be doing crypto soon. Yeah, so more power to it. Big up Marlin Street Forest. I think they just wrapped, or they're doing their annual conference,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I saw that Bro God was there talking about us Jamaica becoming the most honorable Bro God was talking about us becoming the financial capital of the Caribbean. I agree with that 100%. Look at it. We turned our gaze onto the trading market for like 3 months, and massive share price on the trading market. There's nobody else that has a good stock market in the Caribbean, really. They should be thankful, and they are, I'm sure. But yeah, don't knock the JC. Big up them, big up their website upgrade. And they're also charging for data. Not no, but
it's not no at all. I remember 2017. Remember that old site when we used to pay for all
painfully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Painfully.
But yeah, big up the JSC. Big up the JSC consistently, man. And no joke. We're having this show because of the existence of the stock market.
Yep.
Right?
True.
True. And
imagine this one in Trinidad. That's stiff.
Yeah. Trinidad has tried. Trinidad have a junior market too, and it's just boring. They have one listing on their junior market.
In fact, it's funny. They started talking about junior market. They got the similar fight out that we had here. So maybe that changes, but let's see what actually happens. Yeah,
but Stuart, big up. As I said to you privately, I said to you publicly, I said to people all the time. I'm glad when people message me and tell me about the money they've made and how it impact their lives, because that's the point of it. But don't think that it's not me do it. It's still you do it.
And like I see in the groups,
yeah, it's your money. You're the one who made the decision. You're the one who choose to make the risk of putting your money into something. So you're the one who is enjoying the rewards of seeing the gain from it, and that's good. Stick with it, and it will keep paying off. Yeah, stick with it. So I'm happy that you do it. You can't upgrade from the bicycle, one of them there.
No. The bicycle is there purely. The bicycle is there purely for physical exercise. Purely.
Oh, all right, boss.
Mine is for transportation, but big up.
Yeah.
By the way, for everybody in here who has not either done a session with Danhai or has not done a grower class, please to do so now. The sooner you start the journey, the sooner you can get on it. I put it off for years. Randy been talking to me since about 2013, and about 2019, my thick head finally decided to start listening. Please listen to the people them, take advice from the licensed investment Danhai, go and do the grower class and learn how the market works for yourself. Make some money. I see some creatives in here right now. When my camera did mash up last year, year before, is the market made to make me replace my thing. Whenever I have to start fret and panic and woyo, So it's all of you people in here right now, some want to have new families or even not so new families, and stress that reach you, market. You put all your money in your bank account, savings account, and in the year when inflation done kicking, that's negative. Go to the market. Get good guidance, go to the market. That is my bit. Thank you again.
Big up, sir. Big up. This feels like an end of year show, Randy.
All right.
We're getting out of this.
Right.
A lot of people coming, thanks. So it feels like an end of year show, like Dano,
Yeah, and if you remember the title of the show, it's about a massive Q1.
Massive cap.
Massive cap gains, that's true. I put the massive in there because, of course, they play on words with massive, but also because of what I see, or I think I see forming with the market, the perfect storm, as I call it. I think Q1 is likely setting up to the perfect storm, and the way the rest of the year look, I don't know. It could also be a perfect storm. I think nonchalantly at the I think it was a Mayweather Investor Forum. carpet god himself, Dr. Nigel Clark, said, he just said lightly, like, JPS this year. Like, long waiting to own a piece of JPS directly. Yeah. And that's just one
long time, Wow.
Yeah, that's just one thing. Everybody owning a piece of JPS will be the epitome of you can complain or you can profit. That's the truth. Here's something I was thinking though. Everybody complained about their light bill going up, I think maybe late last year to now. That sort of thing is terrible if you are a person paying your light bill. But it looked like increased revenue and hopefully increased profit whenever the prospectus drop.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I think about stuff like that. It's rough, but it's true.
Pretty awful.
Yeah. You want to get a generational wealth? Stocks, equity is the only way. All right, thank you, Stuart. Sir Phil, I know I keep jumping in the line. You actually had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, man. Big up to you guys, first of all.
Big up.
Big up, Phil.
What Stuart said times 100. But what Stuart said times 100. Yeah, man. Big up. But
you sound like you were also riding and check your account and everything sorted out.
Yeah, man.
Christmas
right
bonus
now,
make already.
Christmas bonus. I remember the whole salary talk. My salary has been made this month. Previously, that has happened once, and it was the net salary that was beaten. This time is the gross salary that has been beaten. And we still have another day, another trading day, right?
A hell of a trading day too.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Yeah. Wow.
Looking forward to that. But just one very brief point I wanted to make was one of I think did I mention QWI last week? I might have spoken about QWI last week.
Well, no, but this week you're here, so go through now.
What is nice, yes. Then I wasn't here. In my opinion, QWI is one of the most undervalued companies on the market. And I just want to big up the fact that it touched $1.50 in terms of its NAV today. And I've been tracking QWI for a long time. And
yes, we know.
Yeah.
Certainly know.
I think I am, having seen that jump from 145 to 150 this week, I am convinced that the only explanation for that is that they have a significant volume. They've acquired a significant volume of CPJ shares. Because the movement in the US market and the movement in the known JSE stocks that they have wouldn't account for that. They would probably account for about 3 cents moving in NAV. But the other explanation,
but you can't say
in terms of what moved this week.
The US market large, man.
Yeah, but if you're looking at their what we knew they held 3 months ago, obviously things could have changed, but I think that's unlikely. In terms of the proportion of the US their overall portfolio that is made up by the US market, it's possible, but unlikely. So I would
bro.
obviously
USD,
bro. Big up USD.
I don't know about that.
Hello.
Because how you know that they never have like
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
it's still the internet, guys, so you still have trolls. Sorry about that. But yeah, Phil. You can't say that not never move because so for example, I was feeling some of the US market bleed over the last 2 weeks. Everything everything bleeding out. And of course, I mean, if I see my money taking a hit, I don't lose money. That's not what I do. So rework the portfolio very quickly. I think Uncle Tim at Apple saved a lot of people. In fact, I think they had the greatest one-day rally today. And I made sure, and I guess I kind of bought the dip because when I did my rework, went right back into Apple. I went into Apple with it. So
Nice.
the rise over the last few days is strong, and I don't know that John Jackson and company never do the same thing on the US market. Them can afford a lot more Apple shares than me. And Apple wasn't the only thing. Microsoft also flying, and they could have also gone into both of those things. So you can't say that is just, even though the overall market is falling, we don't buy the market, right? You buy stocks, specific stocks.
Right.
So they
I
could
agree.
be, suppose them have a dual holding in Apple and Microsoft.
Apple and Microsoft. I know that their one of the principals in their company had spoken about buying Netflix when it was going down. Not saying that would have contributed to this, but certainly
Also,
it is plausible.
Did they short? I don't know if they do any options
That's a
trading.
good question.
Did they short? Because the last 2 weeks has been a
question.
wonderful time to short.
I'm almost sure I saw something in one of the financials about options. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So
yeah. That's reasonable, and obviously, there's a lot of this is conjecture.
Yeah, but you're happy to see QWI flying.
But I'm certainly happy to see QWI flying, and obviously, we've seen for a long time the market doesn't really care about QWI's NAV
at all.
But there are clearly ways that that QWI NAV positively affects Jamaican Tea's earnings. And I think the market that seems to have a greater effect on the market than the effect of the NAV on QWI.
Well,
on QWI's share price.
QWI can use the NAV and do a lot of things. One, the NAV will be tied to the margin they get.
Right.
If the net assets are more, then they can get a heavier margin against that, which can help speed up the returns they get. Plus, I might as well say it. I will say it all the time. That buyback is tied to the NAV, so the more that NAV is, the better. It's very likely the better the buyback price that we get from them when they go in that direction. And if QWI is at 83 cents when the NAV hit 2 and them say 15% discount on that NAV, I'm sorry, I'm not upset.
yeah. For everybody lost and wondering, one, come to grow and you can learn and understand what I'm talking about. Two, if you don't want that, you can go and link him for a session. I just tweeted out the discount session with Danhai, the 5% on a discount with Danhai. But simple version is that the shares that them own, if you add them all together and divide it by the amount of shares in QWI shares on that basis are worth $1.50. And if you look at how much you can buy a QWI share for right now or tomorrow, well, Monday morning, 85 cents. There's a huge gap between that, right?
Massive.
So there's a, what would you call that? 43% discount. The buyback is set to kick in at what, 15%?
Yeah.
So, and then of course, if they
the share
do the
price
buyback,
is 15% less than the NAV.
and if they do the buyback at even if they do it at 50%, that's massive. If they do it at 40%, that they get to book that profit, which is baked in profit for JamT.
And JamT has bought more since their last report. Has bought more QWI shares since their last report. 45 million more shares.
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
I wouldn't say it's a dark horse, but if I had to pick one, JamT is a great one. Yeah.
It's one we just spoke about there, man. And the author the same lines would intersect there in terms of where exactly JamT is going and what the kind of value you see from JamT.
No, man, just say it, man. Just say it.
Conglomerate vibes?
No, not just conglomerate. I mean, Massey could buy Caribbean Dream.
Oh, okay. That's
JamT has spoken about a buyer. Right? Massey used to have a T-arm, I believe. It falls or fits under retail, what they call it, integrated retail.
Is it Massey?
I think Massey had some.
Unilever was the big one.
Caribbean Foods would fall definitely under integrated retail if they were to choose to buy it, right? So BTL is an option, JamT is an option, GK spinning off the food arm and the food arm buying them or buying both, who knows, and doing its own thing. The first quarter, perfect storm. The rest of the year, could also be a perfect storm. I wouldn't even touch IPOs yet.
That's what I was saying when I asked for his name, Alric, about Jam T. That's what he was talking about.
But Alric no one here. Alex something for the inside network.
Something else in looking at, so I guess. Alric is a well connected man.
Apparently. Between Alric and Father Sin team, we have a whole heap of links in there. All right. Well, the moment a lot of us have been waiting for, and Malik has been waiting very, very, very patiently. Captain America himself. Sir Malik, what's up? What are you doing?
Malik, what's going?
Night, guys. Night. Ironically, Captain America is one of my favorite superheroes, but as you guys can tell, the whole group, I wasn't capping at all.
Jaja City, brother, is treat it like radio, make we bring the people to it. All right, so let me bring everybody along. For the people who don't know, Malik, Malik,
no man, I'm like him girlfriend and ask him about this.
No,
all right, so just some background story for the people who are lost completely. I think a couple of weeks ago, Malik was on and he was talking generally about his journey. We're talking, I don't remember how we got to the point, but we got to talking about what's possible on the JSE. And he was saying he does swing trading. So, of course, that made me perk up immediately because I'm always interested whenever I hear something new or something other than the typical talk about the market. So I asked him, how are you doing swing trading? And he had, what did you tell us, Malik? You don't have to remember the exact words, but generally.
All right, so like we were talking about Spurtree, and I said I skipped Spurtree, and I said that I used to do like some trading. But I said that while I was trading, after COVID broke out, I was saying that like on average I was getting like about 10 to 20%, and you guys didn't believe me.
No, we didn't disbelieve your percentages. 10 to 20% isn't disbelief. It's a swing that we didn't believe.
The swing,
actually, not the swing, because as I've said then, and I'll say no, and I won't half talk, but as I've said then and as I'll say no, swing trading on the JC is possible. Is more than possible. People do it.
And I have a good point to that. We said many times how much we do it, and we could never be big enough big hypocrites to say to fight you for the same thing that people fight us for.
Exactly.
So yes.
So it's not.
My doubt was firmly in. My doubt, I think Randy will tell his doubt. My doubt was that you were doing it in the way you were saying you were doing it.
Exactly, it's the same way. It's what you were saying that you were doing. And of course, so I said that it sounded a lot like cap, complete cap.
Yep.
All right, which is what the young people call when somebody's lying, right? Malik, to his credit, and I respect this, didn't just wither and say no, him stand up and go, no, I'm not capping. Of course, I hear every day from people all kinds of rubbish that you think them doing, and then when you press them a little bit, they're not really doing it, right? And I can go from like real estate where it's profitable, and I go, but you put $3 million, yeah, but it's an extra 3 million. But you have to count it. or sometimes when before I go to bed and I put on my pajamas at the Forex, you hear all kinds of things in the middle. So Malik come along and him giving me this business about in the swing trading, but none of the explanations sound like what we expect to hear from swing trading. There's certainly the things, if you actually do it on the JSE, you'll hear people talk about. And I pointed out that one of the main ways that you can know if a person is talking about what they actually know about is that they love, or I think I call it a set event. You love a sure event. A short event is major for swing trading because it is something that you can plan.
You're repeatedly you're tying up, you're planning it out exactly. If I know that I can make this type of money when this thing happens, I'm going to look out for every time that thing happens.
Exactly.
Malik say him do the IPO swing trading and Spurtree come and him sit it out because
of 4 main reasons.
What are the 4 main reasons? Tell the people.
All right, so remember, pardon me?
Talk, man.
But Spurtree was in the last week of December, right? So I had exams wrapping up. I had stuff doing during Christmas time. And I knew if I applied, this is the third one, that I would get like a small allotment. And it turned out that there was like a 10,000 unit based allotment. And there was something. What was the fourth reason? I named three just a while ago. But yeah, like as in most IPOs I jump on, but this one I just said I like look towards Edufocal and WePay for 2022. I'll pass on Spur 3.
WePay.
Yeah,
So
is a
which
WePay coming this year?
wait come again? What give me the data again?
I know.
I'm right. I need to write it down. So when we pay coming?
I don't know. They said Alwin Wayne is supposed to be coming with it like in 2022. Like they've been working on it for months, I think, but I'm not fully sure. But I know I'm interested in that one.
For one thing, wait for an IPO here.
Yeah, you don't make the money there. But and again, so people now would have a better idea what it is. I told him very much as cap. He came back the second week. I explained to him why it's cap and why I have to be responsible. And I'm saying these sort of things because people could listen to what he's saying and try to follow that. And I don't want to hear say it's on Randy show to hear that. Anyway,
I said no one don't just follow me like that, because I said there's risk to it. So
but that's not what anybody that said it on Randy show them. They don't care what you say, bossy.
Yeah. So we agreed that we would meet
on Sunday night
virtually, yeah. And Alwin would use actually My Money JA. I say hear me saying Alwin now. Malik would use My Money JA, and there's a wonderful tool. So it's not public yet, but I guess I can show some of it. It's a wonderful thing coming from My Money JA. If you have a paid account, you'll get access to it very soon.
You know what I wanted to name this episode?
What's that?
Who the cap fit?
That would have been amazing. I never thought of that.
There are two caps to wear.
Say that again?
There are two caps to wear.
Well, you're so like a man of many caps. However, so we linked up as agreed on the Soda ED virtually, and I use the feature on My Money JA. And what the feature does is it allows you to automatically link your JTrader and your My Money JA, so you don't have to manually be putting in the trades, right? It stays up to date. You click a button, it automatically updates. If you are a My Money JA user, paid My Money JA user, you'll get access to that soon. And some of them have access to it already. They've been testing it. So Malik, use the tool. Well, Malik, you can tell me how you like the use of the tool afterwards. But we use the tool, check it out, and lo and behold, he was right.
The cap did not fit, guys.
The cap did not fit. What did I say I would do if I was wrong, Malik? In addition to apologize, so let me say that first.
You said that you would apologize to everybody on the space, and I think you said you might tweet it out as well for people who missed it or something like that. And also, I have a free grow session.
There we go. All right. So first of all, I'm a man of my word.
Apologies.
So my apologies, Malik, for doubting you so publicly, so heavily. Well, not a doubt, but I promise you an apology, and you do deserve it because he has been doing what he said he did, and you best believe I checked, right? And not just checked. Again, we use the tool, so the tool don't allow him any cap room. It pulls what you have done on JTrader into your My Money JA account, so you could see the trades right there, and he really had been doing it. Of course, it's just leading to more confusion. Because the question then is,
Malik, I hope you step in the game up, cause boy.
yeah, I hope you took the thought that we gave you then, Malik, because but the bottom line is he had been doing it, and I promised him an apology, and so of course I am sorry completely. It turns out that I am the one that was capping, and I'll bear that in mind because it's a strong lesson. It's like
I apologize as well. I didn't give any promises, but Malik, I did doubt you, and I did basically call you a liar. So big up, you did really well. You were actually doing the thing you were saying. You said you were doing that I called you a liar for. So
and I respect
my apologies, sir.
And I respect that so much, Malik, that you didn't just stop and go grumble quietly or go subtweet whatever. You stuck with it. All of a sudden, I think saying nobody did that. I actually forgot about it. And I said, "What's happening?"
It's when that thing there. I get the message.
That's the funniest thing about, because I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to meet up with these guys now. And I come on 8:30 and I don't see anybody. And I'm like, wait, I wonder if them actually forget. I don't think they would forget.
Of course.
So imagine say forward a meeting and we run away from it. Yeah, so it's actually, so I saw the notif on my phone and a DM from Malik, and I say Randy, yo, Malik, you know, what time is Malik? So, 9 o'clock. I said, no, man, at 8:30. I'm still reaching. So, yes, delays on our part, but yeah, Malik was definitely doing what he said he was doing profitably. So it wasn't like he wasn't doing what many people, boy, them run, go do it, and them don't watch the fees and lose a bag of money and then brag about it. Malik was watching his fees, making his money every single step of the way. Yeah, so profitable way more often than losses. So can't knock him there. Yeah, overall profitable.
And I mentioned that I'll go through the other things. So of course, in addition to the apology, I mean, what was the second thing? I definitely did give him also a free growth entry. So and he picked it out. It works. I think I'll be seeing it tomorrow, Malik.
Yeah, man.
And it was a third thing, or was there no third thing? I know there's a proper public apology.
I think you said apology, 100% discount on grant. He said something about money. That you I don't know if you remember that, but you said something about how I will personally give you money. I think you really told me that you just said that. So,
well, you know, you can find it and remind. If I said that, I'll stick to my word. I'm a man of my word, so I will give you money. And whatever money I said,
it's live, right? So it was recorded, right? So
it was recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Say you know exactly what to do. Say, this you.
Yeah. If it's you, do it. I'll pay
I'm not begging for any money. I'm just saying
bro, yo. You don't care. Get your facts. If you're right, you come straight for the money.
Yeah, man, you should go. You know why? Because you've seen it with me. You hear Danhai talk about it all the time. It's not an easy road of travel in terms of this finance thing. You get doubted up front immediately. And what you have done is the way it should be done. Take the noise, go ahead and show the proof. So I thought he was going to try and keep up the capping of the Excel file.
Excel sheet. Yeah, the man I show you Excel sheet with date last modified.
I mean, I say, I don't care when you modify your Excel sheet, brother. And then he must send me, then he do a PowerPoint, you know, with the day trader screenshot. And I'm like, does this guy think I don't know about Photoshop? So
that's the thing.
Malik.
Funny thing about it. Huh?
Why never made like share screen?
No, because
that wasn't the first thing to do.
No, the Excel sheet. The reason why I send the Excel sheet is because that's the actual Excel sheet I kept all the data on when I was trading.
Man, but
let me just
day trader have it. Why would you give us a thing we can doubt? Why never think, Jano, them can't tell me say the trade that JC say I do? Is what I said. Is what I do.
Yeah, but true say I put it on the Excel sheet. I never thought about that. I just went straight with the Excel sheet screenshot, sent out the important stuff and just put it up here. Because I know I was telling the truth. But like the dates were here.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. You know when somebody tell you say you're doing something and nobody that do it, like getting in trouble as a youth and your parents I say, yeah man.
Yeah man.
I know exactly what you mean. So as far as you're concerned, the proof you're putting is very much in line with the truth you're talking. So you're not seeing why everybody else would doubt it. But we want a different level of proof because in our mind it's not what it is. So I get what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. And of course I thought about it. I thought yeah, go ahead and you can maybe worm your way out of it and say, oh, you know, I said, no, the truth is, him show him work, and him work was good. Now, the question that we had and the thing that really threw us off, I'll tell the people just for info, is that I couldn't understand, not to talk Malik business, I won't go into any numbers, but it's like if I told you he's doing swing trading, and him doing swing trading, but him doing it almost somewhere where you can just say him doing it, but not doing it more. You know, okay. When I invested 10 grand, I started with 10 grand. I invested, I eventually got to 100 grand. I kept doing the things that I know I was doing to grow it to 1 million and blah, 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 right? Malik, do it, and then just keep doing that thing, but it's working. And my question
him only doing 10 grand level.
Yeah.
It's like Randy never left it. It's like Randy make the 10 grand. The money made from the 10, he had 10 grand, become 20. The extra 10 disappear. And him just only ever do the same thing with 10 grand over and over. And you wonder, yo, but we have to bigger money now. Just act like you have bigger money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. And it still is strange to me. And what I really like also, is that you I understand why you say you had the Excel file now, because that is a mark of somebody who's actually swing trading. Because other people always say to me, The second you question them about them gains, I don't know about. They're not really tracking. You're tracking. Second thing, you pay attention to your fees. I won't go too deep into that. I don't want to talk your business, but I was impressed by it. So I would tell them, all right, just keep it quiet. So I have something to talk to the people on Friday. People want to know.
People want to doubt him.
People want to doubt you, and that's the beauty of it. When people want to doubt you, and you prove them wrong. Because I wanted you to be right, because I want to see a new method. And I saw you did. It's not a new method. I think the thing came down to what you were saying on the space versus what I saw from that file that you were doing. You weren't saying what you were doing. What you're saying to me seemed dangerous. What you're doing is a little different. But then I thought about it throughout the week, and I'm thinking, then again, Randy, you did tell the same just a start. So it shouldn't have been strange that you don't necessarily have the language that I would want to hear. And some of the things I see you do, I'm going to ask you, like, why you do this? But no, so what you say is not the answer, because that don't make sense to what you say you do. And some of the things to figure out, like, you book it 2 years or so. The swing trade became a long-term hold. Yeah. I talk one thing, the man of a thing, like him do it today, and it worked. Him do it again the next day, it worked. Him do it the third day, it worked. Him do it the fourth day, and then him sell it 9 months later.
It become a long-term thing. I'm afraid of the loss, him hold the loss until it reach my profit.
Remember I did say that I slowed down and I stopped in September 2020.
Yeah, man. We talk about it already. We talk about the exact same thing for more than one stop, and how it not help you.
But that was private. I'm saying why I did that to the whole space. But people probably going to wonder, why I do that for? But school came.
No. We're not saying he did. We're saying what he was doing is wrong. We're not saying the reasons he was. We're not saying John he was lying about it. We're saying him should have just jump out, not make it a long-term thing. You worked it worked 4 times for you. If the fifth don't work, you're still in profit. Go about your business.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So this is like he's doing swing trading and then book him towards swing trading and turn it into a long-term trade.
Yeah.
That's us, lad, but he was doing swing trading.
And profitably overall.
Yeah, man. On context, to the point where my question after all just became, why aren't you doing it with more money? Because working.
That's the weird. This man is making. That's a pain point for me. He was making money, but he decided, I'm never going to do this outside of the level I'm already doing it at. So it's not like if my 10 grand become 20, I will start doing this for 10 grand. My boss said, no, if a 10 grand I work with, a 10 grand I work with for every single time I do this. And he limit himself. He could have made way more money, but yeah.
Yeah, the self-limiting thing I never like. But Malik, big up to you.
Big up, you did something great.
Yeah, man. I want you to keep doing it, and like I said, do it with more. The man,
talk about it more.
I said it. Well, I won't say the money thing, so okay.
Yeah. Do it, talk about it more, test it more, put it more out there. We want more people understand that what is possible. And maybe even one day you get recognized for it. So
yeah,
keep it up.
I mean, it's a serious thing. Even if you don't get recognition for it, your bank account recognize you.
Facts.
Yeah, those games are real. So big up Malik. And since you say that and since you're here, what you feel you doing any of this swing trading recently with the what's been hot recently? Either the SSLVC or the massive.
CPJ with a nice.
I saw SSLVC along with another friend Thursday night, but like I did say, I never did jump onto that right here because didn't it turn down by the way the other day? I was like, I didn't get the right vibe from that SSLVC, especially because he was being brought up thing. I
know vibes will work with you.
Yeah, it's not vibes working, but like as in when you see something and it just kind of like crazy and you just say, I'll just leave that alone. That's the vibe.
Really. It's usually, boy, that's crazy. I wonder why.
Yeah.
And then you do more than wonder. You figure out why.
Yeah. Let me say, if you're doing the thing, do the thing, Malik, and you've been doing the thing. So
don't limit yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. But SSLVC has, like, when you say it's swing, you mean like in the last few days, the last 3 days?
Yeah. What about that guy that got here at the lower end before the swing up?
Which
that
guy?
Still fine.
Whoever bought it at 90 cents when it flies at $2.28, them good.
It's a joke in that too. Think about it. him get that swing, and it fell a little bit. It fell to less. It's still more than he bought it for. But he could have exited at the top, and people judging him and saying John No Star, him really, but he make money, like he's out. So it
reminded me of Siboney. Siboney was fun.
It was.
Siboney done?
No, as in when everyone was the whole entire Siboney thing. I think like last spring that was fun, but that kind of reminded me of the SSLVC situation.
Oh, what about it?
No, I was just saying it was fun because I think you guys saw my Siboney trade history and.
I was asking what exactly. But it says like it's a similar situation, so I just want to know because if it's a similar situation, then I have to look at you with that as well. He didn't touch this one, but he touched Siboney. But
well, like I said, Siboney I feel like had a wider time to jump in and like look at stuff like that because I think for anybody who was in Siboney, I think Siboney went on for like 2 whole weeks. Am I right?
How long have we seen SSLVC move?
Since last Thursday. Yeah, so
you're halfway through saying Jano.
Yeah,
you're comparing a smaller time period to a longer
mid-November. Or since mid-November. Let's leave I think people need to fight it there. That's one thing you're going to have to learn, Malik. Especially if you're actually doing swing trading or just any trading. If you're going to be seriously actively trading. True, that's one of the things we mean when we say, yo, ignore the noise. Big up Gordon for that. Ignore the noise. The swing, it didn't start when people are talking about it because the person who bought it at the start of November for 66 cents, when they sold it for 99 cents, that's a 33% gain already. And that's before it go all the way up to $2.28.
That's actually 50.
50 sorry. Yeah, that's actually a 50% gain. And that could have happened between the start of November and the end of November. So don't work with just the noise. If you are doing the active, and this is not just a Malik, it's for anybody watching and listening, the actual gain on the market oftentimes happens long before the noise starts around it, right? And if you're actually good, you'll find yourself buying these things way before nobody talking about it, and you should expect to be to be buying before people are talking about it, and expect to be selling before anybody talks about it, right? Or when people are talking about it, or maybe after. Oftentimes you never know. It depends on each situation. So don't allow the Twitter talk to guide you, man. You can always, for everybody else, same thing. Don't allow the Twitter talk to guide you, and allow second order thinking to guide you. Think about what's coming next. Because if you remember up to a week ago, anybody buying SSLVC here, so it's considered to be crazy.
Don't even.
Don't. Crazy. Don't know what they're doing. Following the hype. That's not how it works. The market gets a whole lot easier the second you stop thinking that the person on the other side of the trade is an idiot. All right? The person on the other side of the trade is very rarely not an idiot. All right? It can't be that we are the only smart ones in the market. It's very, very rarely true. And oftentimes, if you see somebody doing something that seems idiotic and they're not new, talk to them because maybe they know something you don't know. And that's a lesson that I'm taking from this. And I'm the person here who was, what Malik's saying don't make sense. So what did I do? Follow up. I could have just said you're capping and done, but no, follow up. And I'm happy I did because you certainly showed the proof. You showed the receipt. So I guess I'm the one wearing the cap now. Pick up again for that, Malik. Any Barita, Malik? Not Barita. Any Massey?
No, I don't touch it yet. Like I said last week, I don't know enough about companies, so I still like looking on some of the stuff. And I started, it ran up, but I'm not surprised because, like, the simple supply and demand situation there, it was gonna run up just like DHL. So at the start of its time,
was good. Say that again. You see some crazy things in that.
You know how when DHL listed and it moved up. I think it moved up to like what, $900.
Yeah.
So it's. I think JHL is probably the closest thing you can compare it to on the market because like they were cross listed and they're both big companies or conglomerates. So Yeah, I don't know enough about Massey, so I don't know if I'm going like want to just jump in there and go deal with that. While I also have like some other stuff weighing me down, like
I agree.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what was that?
Somebody just who said I agree?
Yeah.
It's me.
Sorry, I think there's another
Leo.
person that added. I
Oh,
guess Khalil.
okay.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Evening, Khalil. How are you?
Evening,
Thanks,
Khalil.
by the way, Malik.
How about you?
Come on, best up, Malik.
Yeah, evening, Khalil.
My bad. Good evening to you too.
Oh, evening, boss. Also.
Actually, I would try to do this in order, you know. And who was in front of you was Baba Chris. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just jump back to Baba Chris. Because he has been waiting. Baba Chris,
Sorry,
can you
Baba
hear
Chris.
us? If you're talking, you have to unmute. Or not?
I'm just jumping in.
All right, I guess it's over to you, Khalil.
Sorry, what was the last topic that you guys were on before I jumped in?
Oh, well, it's that we were talking about Massey on the Jamaican stock market. Do you know anything about the Jamaican stock market?
No, but I was trying to gain knowledge in the Jamaican stock market. Cause like yeah, so like what's good in your guys' opinion? Cause like I'm a big time investor, but like I've heard a lot about the Jamaican stock market, but I don't really know what to get into, if you get my drift.
You might want to just start with knowledge. That's what you want to start with. You want to start with some market knowledge, pick that up, and then you can move from there.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, probably the best way for us to do it. If you want to do it, I do a class. And if you don't want to do the class, there's Danhai who you can pay. Although Danhai, based on what I see now, I see that you're completely booked out. So at least for February.
Yeah, I'm marching crazy.
Jaja.
I'm looking
people, you need to move fast. You need to move in fast.
The first week of March done. That's good.
I'm sorry. Are the people on YouTube not having any audio?
Not sure. I see a lot of Russian.
Yeah, I see some Russian too, but I see somebody say they're not hearing on
Twitter.
Well, he says no audio on Twitter, but I'm pretty sure
Feel
people are hearing us on Twitter.
Feel you hearing us?
Well, you're hearing me.
Yeah, I'm hearing you on the space.
I'm hearing you. Yeah, yeah. So Twitter.
All right.
So.
All right. Again, thanks for everybody joining us. I'm not going to necessarily run off right now. We have a chance to. You have a chance to send any requests that you might have. Give me 1 second. Let me just add this person who sent a request. Lawrence, evening. How are you doing? It says connecting. Again, you know what? I've used the time while Lawrence is connecting to tell everybody this. We are doing a giveaway on My Money JA when we hit 1,000 followers on Twitter. So go to the account My Money @MyMoneyJA. I think we're at 800 and something now. When we hit 1,000, we'll start the giveaways, and you definitely want to jump onto it. Then you should probably also be following us on there. We're trying to really change how the market is presented to everybody, throughout Jamaica, really, or overseas if you're interested. And so follow the account, look out for some giveaways, and also do some giveaways at Grow. If you haven't done Grow yet, you want to go to everymickle.com/grow, GRWR. That's everymickle.com/GRWR. You can learn about investing. You can learn how to understand what's happening in the market. You can learn how to do it yourself. And if you don't want to learn how to do it yourself, or if you do it and you learn and you're like, boy, I can't bother, you also get a discount on a session with Danhai, and he will tell you what to do, right? I still maintain that he's easily the best advisor in the space. And I don't mean the Twitter space, I mean the financial space. I don't know anybody that's beating him in terms of, and he didn't have to say it. I say it all the time, and him clients him say it all the time. people them look at them make money quicker than they make second and frightened.
Yes.
Yeah, the people when
on.
people talk about it and I say like, no, like even here earlier, I say, oh, you know, do something. We not do nothing, brother. A lot of times they're not even wanting the market is at the end of the day, I'm gonna check it and see how going. Or people say, yo, you see this? How to know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes tell you, if you want to learn how we know, to grow. Top Striker herself is also, she just sent a request, and so has Lawrence.
Christ.
Right? But Duffy is important. Let me ask Duffy first.
Duffy had up and disappeared. So yeah.
Yeah, but I think she had that connection issue. Duffy, can you hear us? What's up?
Yeah, I'm here. No, I didn't have a connection issue. It just seemed as if the what I wanted to ask you guys weren't talking about anymore. So I was going to save my question till the end.
There you know.
Right. So I want more information on that, the chicken tariffs and stuff that's going to be happening. Do you guys know where to get any quality assurance information? Because it seems like it's a done deal by now and it's going to happen. I want to know if how to go about getting quality assurance information on the products that will be coming in. Because I want to know if our market is going to start looking like, in terms of from a consumer place, I want to know if our market is going to start looking like what the American market currently looks like, where they colloquially think that it's organic versus not, when that's not really the case. It's actually a range. So in some places you're allowed to use antibiotics versus a whole heap versus hormone free versus completely hormone free, and Jamaica likes to pride itself on being completely hormone free. But with the imports coming in, that's obviously going to change. So I want to know where I can get quality assurance information. That's what, right, exactly. So that's what I want to know. If they're really...
I have no idea. I start my search is the same place everybody else start, Google. However, I can tell you that Jamaica Broilers has there's an entire other Jamaica Broilers that exists in America. They set it up over the last few years.
Yep.
From egg to plate. There's an entire thing there. So when they can import for themselves, and I think there's no hormone actually allowed. There are no antibiotics allowed in the US market, chicken market. And even if there's some loophole, Jamaica Broilers has put out ads and they pride themselves on not having antibiotic free chicken. I think CB chicken is also the same. And so I think maybe that will become a selling point. Hormone free, antibiotic free chicken, I think will become a selling point. And the fact that you can just get a lot of chicken cheaper. I don't know if the Jamaica Broilers will become cheaper, but I think there might be cheaper alternatives. Can't speak to it, but I just start with Google, and I guess maybe Bureau of Standards would maybe control that. You'd have to do the research along that line as a consumer. For me, I am just crossing my fingers and hoping.
But just one thing, it's not that the antibiotics and hormones are not allowed completely. That's why I say it's not as cut and dry as people like to advertise it. There's minimal effects. Basically, it's just a whole lot of scientific jargon where, like you said, there are loopholes where antibiotics can be allowed in certain cases. But the Jamaican market, but what I like about the Jamaican market is that it is none at all. I can honestly trust and say for Jamaica, it's none at all. That's why a lot of people from Western African countries and some Caribbean countries, when they go to the States, they are traveling vegetarians basically, because they know that when they go back to Jamaica or go back to where else, they have the quality. For the put, I'll go look into it somewhere.
But that last bit got chopped up.
Yeah, well, it wasn't chopped for me. I heard her clearly. She was just pretty much saying that she get input, she'll look it up. I big up Duffy. Duffy had asked if you did anything, but I know I'll be able to ask you pretty soon. Otherwise, so we'll get to that soon. Lawrence, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for all the work you do. Really enjoying the spaces and the info that you're passing on to us. I had some questions in regards to a particular stock. Margaritaville.
Yeah.
I know a few weeks ago you were talking a lot about tourism stocks. And I find that, it's a stock that at least from like market hype, people don't seem to be paying attention to. On my end though, I think it's definitely undervalued. Or should I say it's available at a reduced cost rather.
No,
We talk like
reduce.
real people here.
Real people.
So if
The price is the price on my screen. Reduce from what?
Well, I think today maybe it was probably what? Maybe 18 to 20, I can't remember. But I know it traded as high as I think I want to say it might be 40 or 50.
Oh, that's crazy. I'll look. Imagine that world, Randy, where you buy a stock and they tell you that it's only worth as far as its highest trade. So you can no matter where you buy it at, the value you book is the highest point.
Yeah, that's a world in which
we're talking about the market like it's a store that's open and we're saying sale. If you buy it at the cheaper price, you still get the value of the higher price. It works so. Reduced price or it fell down, sure, but
fell down. But reason I'm asking though is, I know you guys have been in it actually longer than I have, and you have a wealth of expertise. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on that particular company and on the stock.
You might be surprised.
Strong management, strong board.
I didn't hear you, Randy. What did you
company.
say?
Oh, Randy. Right?
No, it wasn't me. I was just saying you might be surprised. You said that we're in the market longer than you might be surprised. How long are you investing?
A few years, but honestly, I never paid much attention to it.
A few years another timeline, boss. How long?
Actively, I'd say about 7 years, but before that.
Danhai, how long have you been investing?
When 2017. I'm not good at simple math. 6 years? 5 years? Yes, something like that.
5 years. So Lawrence, you've been investing 2 years more than Danhai.
Actively, he's been investing from before.
Actively.
Yeah, but I definitely don't have your expertise then. Put it that way. So, I've been looking at it, and I listen to you guys talking about the trading stocks, and I mean, for me, I think their earnings are just heavily dependent on what's happening in Turks. We had a whole year of no ships or no revenues. So the price falling. That's a lot of trades. But I'm trying to wonder why I haven't seen a lot of people buying that, call it a dip. Like they've done with a Dolphin Cove, like they've done with Express. I don't know. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, let's work it out together. Have you bought it?
I had some from before, not a lot. Because I like the US dividends that I used to get from it.
USD.
USD, boy, the most powerful thing when you're talking to Jamaican investors, USD, just say USD.
Gloss over.
Yeah. But so did you buy any when it dipped, or you haven't bought the dip either?
I have some.
Did you buy the dip?
I bought some.
Oh, okay.
During the dip? During this time period here? The first COVID case in Jamaica was March 2020.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the tourism industry would have known that there was something happening a little before. They would have seen the cancellations and the people leaving or whatever. So let's say like early 2020. Since then, did you buy any?
Yeah, I have some as low as 14.
No, man. So you're not answering the question, huh?
I bought some as low as 14, yes.
All right, when was the last time you bought? Let's answer that. When? Time?
I would
say
say
contract note or something, man.
probably about either September or October.
September. So September gone.
2021?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Okay, so you bought it since it's been down.
Yeah, man.
Okay, all right. So you bought it since it's been down, and now you're wondering why has nobody else been buying it?
I mean, I see a little activity, but you know, I don't know if there's something I'm missing. I know the revenues still haven't come back on stream.
Why?
Why the revenues?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they started getting ships maybe towards the end of last year down in Turks.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're waiting on the results, but
They
meaning the market.
oh.
So that I think that's it, you know. Like you sound like you have the answer.
So
So I mean, as I said, I invest, but you know, I'm still learning about a lot of the financial side. You know, I don't know. I'm still learning about you know the understanding a lot of the metrics. So I just wanted to, you know, I come on with you guys. I know I like how you guys break down some stuff and explain. So I said, you know, I'll just throw this one out, you know, to see if there's something I'm missing. I don't know.
I think there's a lot you're missing. I think maybe you're starting off with just a questionable understanding of what it is that you're doing when you're investing, and it's important that you have an idea of what you're doing when you're investing.
I think we're getting feedback from him because you just talking just now, I wouldn't hear you. Continue saying sorry about that.
No, yes, I was saying that I think that what you're doing incorrectly is that you're not necessarily paying attention to what you're actually doing when you're investing. I don't think you have an idea of what it is that you're really doing when you're investing in like a real way, and what you're investing in.
Okay.
This is usually the point where I tell people that you need to come to grow, because it's not only because you need to come to grow, it's because I can't do a grow lesson here, and it's basic grow stuff that I know that you're missing in this moment. Like knowing what you're putting your money in is key. You have to know what you're putting money in.
Right.
Understand what was driving the company. Like where does the company actually exist? Like where is Margaritaville?
It's Turks.
And where are they actually in Turks?
I think it's Grand Turk.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the. I gather they're on the cruise ship pier, correct?
Yeah, that's what the research I have suggests. It's actually a pier that's owned by Carnival Cruise Line, if I remember correctly.
So they have literally no business because there's literally no cruises going into Turks. Turks has been on lockdown for a long time.
Right. I think they started getting back ships. I think it's November or December. One of them.
Okay.
To what level? I don't know if it's any should ask.
I was watching what's her name? Kalia Reynolds the other day, and she had Ian there on, and he was saying that they had about, don't quote me, I think probably about 50-something thousand ships. I mean, passengers coming off. 31 ships, 58,000 in 1 month.
All right. Yeah. What kind of revenue you get from that?
So you see now, that's, as I said, I'm not sure about the revenues to expect from that. I mean, it sounds great, but
does it though? That's a trick, right? As this thing I say, companies lie, CEOs lie. That's not that they're actually telling a lie, but because they legally can't lie to us, but they can say something that sounds like what you would want it to be. Right? So 50,000 passengers sounds good. I don't know if it sounds good. I don't know how many passengers they usually say. You see, that's how you have to think, and I know that's how you think, because that's how you always think for everything already. We think that if I tell you, say, yo, it's $500 good, you don't know.
Yo,
The
man,
only
say the
reason,
iPhone, $5 bills. You'd say hell no, because you would have never. Yeah, if you were to sell me your iPhone for $500, would you take it?
What year? What?
Yeah, a brand new iPhone. Where you pay 1.1 mil for, or you pay 1,100 US for.
I'd ask you where you get tea from.
Oh,
all right, and that's because you expect that immediately sounds cheap, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason it sounds cheap is because you have something to compare it to.
Correct.
So when I hear 50,000 passengers on the cruise ship here now, I don't have anything to compare it to, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, I thought it was good compared to the fact that
nothing.
Well, I mean, for most of the year before, it was zero.
Zero is the easiest number to beat, you know.
That's true.
So I can do better than last year. Doesn't mean I can do better than X, but it doesn't mean X is good. If X is bad, then I'm not so much of a benchmark. It's like you come in there. Say we suddenly found out that your sister was an Olympian and she went to Olympics, did whatever, and you say, oh, how well did she do? She beat Shakari. So Shakari never got Olympics, did she? But that's that's the idea. She beat Shakari. All right, cool. You beat the last place person.
But everybody beat the last place.
Everybody beat the last place person. You're not saying much about your sister there. She have to beat. Yeah. Yeah. So
like in comparing it to companies like you mentioned comparing it to companies like CPJ, you said, and another E&D company, ECL. ECL has had customers, right?
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting thing. Actually, I've heard this one a lot, right? So why not Margaritaville?
Results, not so. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, Danhai.
People, yes, they do host results, but people say it a lot. I've been hearing it a lot. You said tourism, so why not Margaritaville? Well, we often say we don't talk in industries. When we say tourism, we're saying, oh, we're not talking about the industry, full boom for the industry, everybody making money there. What we're saying is something is happening in the tourism sector, and that can lead to certain things for certain companies. It doesn't mean every company gets a good run. We speak about the ones that we like for a certain reason. We like them for a certain reason, right? So, yeah, it doesn't mean every single thing there suddenly is great and you can just buy it like an eye and buy it out there. You still have to do the work. There's no point in this journey where you get up and say, boy, I can just do it off of just this thing I hear. If you do that, that's an accident and you made some accidental money. Good, you made some money, but no, I hope you don't repeat that accident.
So you think it was an accident?
What?
Buying it.
No. You? No. See, I was disaggregate that. That's a very different thing. I'm talking about just looking at tourism doing well as a reason to buy. I don't know your goals. I don't know your timelines, what you want from this, whatever. It might well fit you. Again, as we spoke about buying CPJ before the tourism starts swinging the right way.
Okay.
Yeah, so what are your expectations around Margaritaville?
So the way I was looking at it, similar to what you just said, when you take into considerations, like a stock like a CPJ or Express, where, the dip is there, there's potential for the company to come online throughout 2022, as you said, they're dependent on the cruise ships. The cruise ship industry picking back up. So I thought, it was a good opportunity.
It might just be. But it's going to take a lot of homework to confirm that.
Yeah, man. You'll come to grow tomorrow. You will, I assure you that you will end tomorrow with a much better understanding of not just MTL or Express or anything, but also just investing overall, just general investing, which is what I think is missing.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Yeah, I think really what you're looking for is you want to hear if we say that Margaritaville is good or why or something around the way.
Yeah,
and then that would just be exacerbating the problem, because here's what I could give you a timeline. It would probably work. It'd probably be good. I have a timeline in my mind for these things, and then you'd probably make the money, and you would have no idea when to sell.
Often,
and then you'd be stuck with it for a while, and then maybe go back down, and then maybe you come back on, or you'd say, "Yo, I make a whole heap of money," and you come back on, and yo, Randy, remember a couple of months ago you were talking about Margaret will make a whole heap of money. Thank you, my lord. I hope I can buy you a drink one of these days. So what do you think is good in the market now? It wouldn't actually help you. So I think I know, like from the questions you're asking, I know for a fact that you would do well with a girl. Because just the first point of knowing the thing that you're putting your money into, understanding it completely. That's the secret to why I predict companies so well, because I actually know the companies, I understand them, and then I understand business and apply that understanding to the company. I understand Jamaica and apply that understanding to the company and the stock price, and then I project from that point. And then the market becomes very, very easy. But the number one step you have to take is the understanding, the initial understanding. Because then you wouldn't be asking why nobody's buying it, why it seems boring. First of all, Margaritaville doesn't really have a lot of excitement, even in the best of times. It's not a heavily traded stock.
I realize that most of the holding is held back in the top 10.
Yeah, but that says nothing. That says nothing, because most companies on the market have concentrated holdings. Yeah. The same CPJ you're talking about has most of the holdings. I think like maybe 80 or 90% is in the top 10. Dolphin Cove, same thing, like 90-something% is in the top 10. It's not, that's not the reason. It just isn't heavily traded at all. That's just how it is. 2019 was the most exciting year for the Jamaican tourism market. In 2019, it was a record year before COVID hit in 2020. And Margaritaville just wasn't heavily traded then. You just have to understand the thing that you're putting your money in. And that helps you then to understand heavily the overall market. That's the mistake that I think you're making.
If Margaritaville came in something good, then you might well see the market picking up and running to it.
Yeah. And that's another point. Sorry to cut you, Danhai.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, go.
But you might well be at the point where I'm sitting and waiting on this. You might be at the point where it's actually good. Just maybe have to wait for it. Or you might be in a mistake. One of the two.
I mean, I'm willing to wait, but as I said, I am.
Stop. How long are you willing to wait? Yeah, I figured, because typically, if you're willing to wait, then you know how long the wait is. That's when you're willing to wait. You can't. It's like a girl till you say, ask if you're willing to wait on her to finish her relationship before you and her can go forward. Would that work for you?
Good save.
No, that's exactly where I was going from start still.
Of course.
So, would that work for you? For a girl to hear that?
No.
Why? Is it girl of your dreams?
Oh my God! I'd wait on Jada Kingdom. Right? I'm waiting.
But Randy, she like girls, bro.
I'm
a very convincing guy.
If she like me, if I am the guy that she likes, so I'm going. He says he's waiting. So if she never turns his way, he's willing to wait forever. Are you willing to wait forever on Margaritaville?
No, I was saying summer 2022 to winter 2022 into 2023. I expect them to get back to what they were at before COVID.
All right, boss. What exactly are you? I want to go deep on it because I don't know if we're doing it for that. So
yeah, I don't want that on air either. It's just I can hear the things. I hear the thing. Right? You really just want to make some money on it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think you need to have your goals set up before you get into it. You need to know where you put your money in, and then you want to, like you're saying, you're willing to wait a year for them to get back to where they were. You mean the business or the share price?
I think the share price will go up before summer of 2022.
Why?
Because why?
Mm-hmm. That's an important question.
I think after a decent winter, and as I said, I think the tourism coming back on board, at least the cruise ship industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, otherwise for you, but it's going to be a long run before we reach the end of it, to be honest. It's going to be why I think that's going to happen. The cruise ship industry come back, and you have to go really in depth and get a lot of whys around that. Yeah. So there's only so much I can really push into helping you right now, to be honest. So you should definitely go through that girl and get all the information you need, probably plan it out in your head exactly, and just apply that to Margaritaville and see how that aligns with what you actually want for your money. And you go forward with that.
All right.
Yeah. I really, there's a big deal. What you're saying is a big deal. What you're saying, brother, because you might really be sitting by Margaritaville and see, yo, this is a year. You could miss half of this year because your money sit down in Margaritaville waiting on some of the people to come back. Remember this: the company could very well have good results again, and they're open because they reopened. I think in January. I think that they just reopened recently, and Margaritaville share price just still don't increase, and you could be sitting in it. You could be like the Cygnus people, where you're sitting in Cygnus while so many other obviously exciting things happen, and you were just waiting in something else. And that's what I think can turn people off the market. The best thing for you to happen, not that waiting is bad, but waiting in vain is bad, and waiting blindly is bad, in my view. Yeah, you don't want to wait blindly. You want to have an idea of what is happening and when it's happening and when you don't want to wait anymore. And if you want to wait 2, 3, 4 years, not saying no, because it could have a really surprising blow up, right? I just think the worst kind of waiting is when you don't have a set end date in mind. Like if the food gonna take 10 minutes and you say, boy, give me a little while, and you don't tell me nothing, that 10 minutes could feel like 2 years. But if the food can take 10 minutes and you tell me 10 minutes, then I know I have it's the same 10 minutes, but suddenly the expectation is different. And I can plan around it because maybe the food next door is ready in 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden I can go over there in 5 minutes. If you truly believe that Margaritaville is going to recover for summer 2022, you could. There's a lot happening between now and summer 2022. You could end up going back to Margaritaville with a whole heap of money. That's like me and Dolphin Cove. Dolphin Cove was looking like they could have been great 2018, 2019, but I didn't sit in it. I got out. There are people who sat in it and are still sitting in it. And by the time we get back to where we are now, the profit I'm making on a Dolphin Cove is much huger because the amount of money that I'm able to now put in there than if I had just left the original money sitting from 2018 or 2019 till now. Yeah, it don't make sense. I put the money to work, so when I come back, I put a lot more in, and then guess what? I got in before it started to move again. So you get a win-win. So the blind waiting don't make sense. I tell you to work with a time. You need to, it's the worst kind of waiting when you don't know how long you're going to be waiting. Don't do that to yourself.
I don't wanna wait.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Bob never rang yet.
Make sure you know what you're in there for, and that waiting with no actual timeline in there, that's definitely not knowing what you're in there for.
Yeah. You want to be on top of your things, brother. And you know a little bit more about the markets. I'm not going to say no that you don't. You know more about the market. Like 7 years.
I think you're doubting yourself.
Yeah. What else you like?
JMB.
Same. But not
You
really.
also like Signal?
Yeah, I do.
You know, man.
I don't own any Signals though, unfortunately. But
why unfortunate? It's still on the market. Why unfortunate?
I think there's a little hype right now after the AGM, so I'm also hesitant to touch it. I could be wrong, probably wrong. I don't know.
What do you think when you say the hype? What you mean? Like the share price might fly?
I think it kind of flying now. You know, I don't know.
Not really. My brother will take it up
Really. Yeah. I mean, it's so funny how this has become the new version of fly. Is this? Signals go 15 again. And that's fly. Jaja. I mean, last year, November, it was at 18.50, you know, before the Q1 results.
Bro.
So if you think 15 is flying from hype, is it that you don't expect it to go any further?
Breathe again. Signals touch 19.
I think it has, you know, so a lot of growth potential, you know, by the time they finish the project on Spanish Town Road, Belmont, you know, they should have definitely
Which signals we're talking about?
Huh?
Which signals are we talking about?
You're talking about Current Invest or you're talking about the RF?
I'm asking you.
Well, I thought we were talking about Current Invest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Aren't they involved in that as well? Isn't that part of it? Those two projects? Or is it solely under the real estate? I'm not sure. I'm asking.
I don't know. Do you know, Danhai?
Actually, I think in my head it was real estate, and the interest there wouldn't be from the specific project itself.
Or it would be from
Signals
like
credit
notes
there at all. It probably some notes are to the actual company that doing it.
I think I thought it was under the Credit Invest. I'm not sure.
But you don't own any, so that's cool. You say you like JMB.
Yeah, I like JMB a lot.
All right, a lot. So you have money in it?
Yeah, I have some units.
All right, that's good. I like that you have some skin in the game.
Conviction, yes. You like Marita, but you buy some. You like JMB, you buy some. I know people
exactly.
All right, Randy. I can just join back because I can ask Lawrence a question.
Sure, David. What's up? Good evening.
Evening, David.
Evening, everybody. Evening. So, Lawrence, quick question. Do you actually track what's happening in Turks with respect to the cruise ships?
Yeah, I've been looking at some of it. I wouldn't say this month, but I know the last time I checked was late last year. It was I think the document that I read was the bookings or how many ships had booked dates to call on the port. That was the last document I saw in terms of what was happening in Turks in relation to the ships.
The reason why I asked that is because I actually did that matter to thread and I tagged you is because the cruise ship industry they started back last month, December 16. And already had to introduce more cruise to come back to Turks because of the quote unquote COVID situation. This isn't a general thing. They turned back one ship on January 6th.
David, I never want.
They didn't allow a ship to dock at the Grand Turk Cruise Port.
Yeah, David, I never want to break the man. I never want to break the man heart. You know, I knew that. So I just want to break the man heart because Turks reopen and then them look like them get shy and stop. Because I think 2 or 3 cruise ships were out there. Nobody wanted to take them. Carnival couldn't take the noise. So it not really look that great, right? And then I would bring it. I'd bring you see Lawrence's point is Lawrence is invested in the share price without necessarily realizing it. So him don't realize that even if them get business again and things kind of get okay, if everybody else on the JC doesn't care, the share price will stay. Look how great Cygnus USD is. No one cares. Look how great JMMB is. The share price not moving.
Yeah.
No,
So
I didn't mean
that's
to
why I
burst
said
the bubble, you know. I didn't mean to
What,
burst the
David?
bubble. I didn't mean to burst the
Yeah,
bubble.
yeah, David, did.
I know. I just had to ask that question because the attempt that I put out earlier, I highlighted that the Margaritaville Turks hasn't earned any revenue from March 2020 up to November 2021. So they were just burning cash from then to now. They just started back operations last month.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just look at what it is now. Look at what you expect. What there's a lot you need to go down here to make an investment decision here. That you skipped a lot of on the basis of what really sounds like. I'm hearing tourism, the price dip, and nobody. I thought what it seems to be here. If tourism great and Margaritaville don't move yet, then Margaritaville will move, and I'm here early. Why is nobody here with me? Why is it not moving? That's what it sounds like. So it sounds like it really has a lot to do with the share price movement and nothing. And Margaritaville picked up as a secondary consideration because everything else around it in tourism so nice to you.
Yeah, you have to make the decision on some stronger bases than those, Lawrence. And then you have to actually, when I say stronger basis, it's not about being an expert or anything. The reality is that you don't need to being a really good investor doesn't require any heavy expertise. It just requires practicality, common sense, and honesty with self, I think. Like just about what you really want and what you're really in. Because think about it. Initially, you were comparing it to Dolphin Cove, ECL, CPJ, companies like that. Why wouldn't you put your money in those companies then? Consider that you see the actual movement from them. Sustain. Like why wouldn't you have bought any?
I have a feeling I know why, but I want to hear what you say first.
Honestly, when I looked at it,
the price move already.
I honestly thought that the price left me with CPJ.
Ready? Live example. So we spoke about this earlier.
I know. Yeah.
Why the price leave you?
Let me tell you, in a lot of my readings with CPJ, you know, I was reading about their whole inventory system and that a horrible year and people resigning, and I was like, boy, them just in a mess right now.
Wow.
That was 2019 or
2019. 2019.
Right. So they had
David.
on there, and I was just like, boy, are they really back on track? You know? And you know, I was hesitant, so I really didn't move towards it, and that was definitely a mistake on my end.
It sounds like you made it. I think what happened also, you made a tourism decision after the tourism things started moving. CPJ, Dolphin Cove were markers for you that tourism is doing well, or tourism seems to be doing well, and there's a lag because Margaritaville will pick it up. So you can get where you need to get over that. Because
I knew Margaritaville wouldn't pick up.
the question, why I say that is because if you look at CPJ, they've been consistently telling us over the last 9 months, beyond 9 months, what they're doing for tourism, not doing for their company to change out of the bad situation they were in 2 years ago. So if you're saying, okay, that was bad, 2019, you look back at 2019, found out whatever was going on was bad, but you didn't check. You said you're not sure whatever happened to fix that if you're in a better place now. But they've consistently told us they're in a better place now. And the time, and especially within the last 9 months, when they're reporting really strong numbers saying, hey, this is where the fix is leading us. Look at the numbers we put out. So it sounds like the decision for tourism came with all of the noise that tourism is doing well. Hence, your time at the start you say, boy, Margaritaville in tourism, CPJ, you mentioned CPJ Dolphin Cove as doing well. Why not Margaritaville? That was basically what we were saying at the start. So I think that whole time, a lot of your move, you're looking at tourism comes from those two doing well already.
Yeah,
you see them moving and something is good in tourism generally. People talking and saying that a lot.
I mean, as you said, definitely a missed opportunity for me with the CPG.
You're saying definitely. I'm asking why. And
Why?
you're only saying the price gone up. You're not really saying why it's a missed opportunity. You buy things for where you expect them to go.
We buy stocks where we expect them to go, not where they are.
Not where it's coming from.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
It could have gone up 500%. Look at Barita 10x over a nice short amount of time. There's so much points in that where people were saying it missed me.
So I mean, as I said, I definitely don't have the expertise you guys have, but when I was looking at like Dolphin Cove, like even today, I think it went over $20.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically, how much more is left in that? Huh?
Realistically, what?
How much more is left in that?
I won't answer that question because my clients get that answer. But you bought Margaritaville more than $20.
No,
why is Margarita? No, why is Margarita? You bought Margaritaville more than
$14, $15.
So, what do you think Margaritaville good? So, what was your target price on Margaritaville? You got in at 15. Where are you looking to sell? Beyond 20?
Beyond 20.
What's
Dolphin
the number?
Cove is making more money than Margaritaville. While Dolphin Cove far-fetched at 20, but Margaritaville isn't.
Dolphin Cove making more money now or historically?
I'm talking about right now. I'm looking at the top prices right now. If you're saying Margaritaville should be worth more than 20, and Dolphin Cove is far-fetched to be more than 20, why is one that's making more money far-fetched, while the other isn't?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's how we have to think about when we investing. We have to actually, especially when you're investing for yourself. I mean, we talk about it. We say it's great fun, and I'm really happy when I hear the people talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not an easy thing.
I think, I think I don't want you to get the impression that it's just all them just know and it's just easy. One thing I can tell you is I don't believe when you say that you don't have the same expertise that we do. You probably have more. You have a lot more, and you answer the questions easily. Even the things David was saying, you are referencing them, so you know it. There is no need to pretend that you don't know it here. I think it's just that you weren't looking at certain little fundamental things, and it's a common thing, so don't feel bad. Loads of experts I talked to have never thought about why they're buying what they're buying. Mm-hmm. And when they hear something go up, what they really want is the hype to touch the stock that they own. And we love hype when it's on the stock that I own already.
And
we hate hype when it's on another stock.
Yeah. When the stock, if I own a stock, if a lot of people, you own a stock and the stock are flying and you're telling me why it's flying and how it's great and this is why the moment there's something else going up and you just don't understand it, it's hype. And why are these guys such idiots? Why the hell would they move this stock on this hype, whatever?
Yeah. And the danger behind that is that when we start to believe it, we truly start to believe that there's a section of the market that is truly dunce. And them only over this, so them only run down not APO, them only run down IPO and hype. But we are doing the steady state thing, and why aren't other people doing it? Yo, the market becomes a whole lot easier the second you start to accept that the other players in the market are not stupid. And then what happens, at least for me, when I start doing that, is that I realize that, well, I guess it's me doing the wrong thing. Because if you think about it, you compared Margaritaville Turks to 3 other tourism companies that are seeing record for the last 2 years, record tourist arrivals. and you're wondering why people aren't reacting to the company that is still under lockdown up to 3 weeks ago, in the same way that they're reacting to companies that have record tourist arrivals since 2019 in the last 6 months.
And making record money in at least 2 of them.
The market isn't irrational. The market is always correct. The person who in that, if I'm looking to make profit by summer 2020, Margaritaville Turks has to fall, in my personal view, way behind any other tourist company that is actually seeing customers. Like Turks just reopened. Why would the company that is doing business in Turks have the same level of activity as the company that has a coffee shop in Montego Bay Airport, the home of Omicron? Like you have to think about the reality of what you're putting your money in. And don't blame hype. Hype is not always bad. People are running down Dolphin Cove because them watch news and see say beer tourists come. Them hear the reports from Dolphin Cove say, the place reopen, and them have record arrivals. Cruise ship after cruise ship.
Hype is just another name for a lot of people are seeing something here.
Yeah. CPJ supplies hotels in Jamaica. Over the last maybe 2 months, we've seen Commando Grow. You will learn how to look for what to look for. Trust me, it's not hype when you hear the people. Well, it's hype, but it's not baseless hype when you hear people talking about the effect that it's had. It's truly doable, and it's doable by anybody. And in fact, I'll be honest with you, it tends to work better if you're not a finance expert. Because then you don't have as
like
much.
People want a boring market. Like,
yeah. They want an efficient market.
And then to say people that efficient does, that's a funny part. Efficient doesn't mean boring. I don't know if they get that, but efficient.
Yeah,
actually, think of the US market. Those that's what efficiency looks like. Yeah. So yeah.
So don't take it the bad way.
No, man, I can't do that. I mean, as I said, it's all about learning, and I appreciate what you guys do. So I'm here to learn. Thank you for the advice and the guidance, and I definitely take a lot of what everybody said, even David, I think his name is. So thank you.
Consider doing the grow, brother, please.
Yep.
I beg you. I know it don't seem crazy.
I'm recommending it as well. Like, trust me, just
David,
go.
you never do it yet. Hold on, man. Let me tell the people, because you never do it yet. Try. I know it seems crazy. Yeah, I know it seems crazy, but trust me, the 85 US is more than worth it. It's actually cheap. Do it, because I'm sure the profit you want to make from Margaritaville is much more than 85 US. Yeah. And I can't help but to see the discrepancy. I know if I were to tell you what I actually thought of all these companies and give you a timeline, no, like I have to be stopping myself. I'm controlling what I'm saying. If I were to tell you it and give you a play and a proper timeline, you would make a whole lot more than 85 US. But you still wouldn't spend it because you don't think the value is there. There's nothing for me to learn, but you'd like to hear from me. And I'm telling you, I teach the thing there. Come, Grant, you can ask me about it.
Thanks, guys.
Trust me. No problem. Big up, Lawrence.
Big up, Lawrence.
All right. David, you can't tell the people about the scores you never got yet, man. I think it's a joke thing. You can't do that, David. The dope, man. I think say, David, I tell you, I never got yet. I mean, I know you've heard people done it. Yeah. And to be fair, David has sent people to grow, but he's not done it yet himself. And I don't know, David, could I come through free? David, link your brethren Malik tomorrow and the tone of the grow at the same screen. Do it and then you can give me a review. Because I also think you do it really well for it. Anyway, the top striker was saying I look like she's gone out of bed. And I'm very, very sorry about that because I really want to hear from her. All right, we'll take like maybe 1 or maybe 2 more people and then we'll call time on tonight. And if you're definitely thinking you want to ask, now is the time to ask. If not, forever hold your peace, as they say. But send your request if you do want to talk. And the one and only Sir Dundas. Long time when I hear from him now. Sir Dundas, what's up?
Come on, good night, everybody. Good night, good night.
Yo. Good night.
Voice of some familiar.
Evening, how you doing?
Yeah, man. Me and Justin Scott, and Nicholas.
Yeah, come me and Justin and Massive.
Yeah, I'm here as well. Yeah.
All gone, man. Good?
Yeah, we're there.
We're there, man. I'm taking the vibes. You know, we're in and out, but we're glad to be here, man. You know, bricks and everything, man. It's been a lovely start to the year.
Indeed.
Yeah. It's when I can make some money.
It's all that way. Very much so.
Yeah, man. Cycling and out. You know, what would I start the year? So we're running up from CPJ and Dolphin Cove. Spurtree was there as well. And then for that, yeah. So in and out of cab brokers as well. I would say. I don't know what Dundas has been in.
I've been in the same thing except Dolphin Cove.
In or in?
No, I'm still in. Well, I'm still in. Well, I'm in Fesco. I'm in CPJ as well. I'm actually still in cab brokers. What other thing you said? Oh, Spurtree. I still have a two to Spurtree left, but I sold majority of that already.
What you say? Swing trading, short-term trading.
The street has said that those things don't happen on JC and Randy. That's what the street is saying.
Say that again?
The street said that those things don't happen on JC. Someone here.
No, we've heard that before.
Yeah, we hear a lot of things. On JC. So what are you guys excited about these days? I'm surprised I never hear one only say Massive.
No, so that's what we're excited about now.
It's brand new.
That's what I'm excited about now.
Yeah, we just have to recap from the start of January to now, man, you know?
Yeah.
All right. What only thing happening with Massive then? What excited about?
I mean, naturally the split, that's probably not the biggest talking point, it's a big talking point. I haven't touched it yet, but I didn't want to do it.
Got you.
Yeah, basically, I just think that is going to be a big thing for institutional investors. I'm just going to say that for me brings a lot of expectation for high demand. I already know about short supply so far. I mean, I guess more Trinidad comes to come across, but so far supply short. I expect high demand from particularly institutional investors, and then comes the split factor. I think Massey is a huge company, cash balance immense. There is so much that can be done, and it does. Like, I don't want to say the word interesting, but it's very interesting to watch and see what can happen with that.
One to watch.
Yeah.
One to watch. All right, that no help with that. So let's talk real talk. What do you think going to happen?
All right. Well, no, my hands are a little bit tied in saying what can happen, man. So I've done that, so better you take it still.
When you say hands are tied, you know what's going to happen?
No. As in, I have to be a little bit more conservative with my speech these days.
What's going to happen in terms of company operations or to the stock?
You're baptized.
In terms of
that's so like.
What we're asking, Randy, in terms of company operations or in terms of what they're going to do?
Like what? All right, I dropped a theory earlier. Where I said that Barita has an associate stake in BTL, the food company. Massey, we know, is looking to expand. In fact, I deal with when I look at these companies, I deal with them like I deal with football coaches. The thing that they say they're not doing is almost certainly what they're doing. They love to lie, right? Them not buy Ronaldo and then him show up the next day, right?
Yeah.
And then them pretend like they never said that. So Massey said that they're not looking. They have no immediate expansion plans in Jamaica, which to me sound like them already earmarked what they're exactly going to buy to expand.
Like I'm not saying they're going to set up a oxygen plant or something like that. I believe that's what I heard.
Well, that's set up already, so.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because I remember reading that. I don't remember the exact details, but yeah, that's the first thing that come to my mind,
bro.
And then sorry, say that again, Danhai.
I said somebody tell me say the massive chairman tell them, say, yo, they have no plans for acquisition, but if shareholders have any ideas of what they can acquire, they should definitely come to them and tell. I say, well, believe that?
Boy. That sound like Nicki Minaj cousin.
Somebody in the corner shop. Somebody in the corner shop, I want to pitch it to Massey.
Oh my God. Well, you know what was a good corner shop? Probably the biggest corner shop in Jamaica now is DTL, right? They started that way. Some parts have a supermarket chain. Some could they have US presence and they continue to grow. And 20% is owned by the broker that listed Massey in Jamaica.
True.
Synergies. I think that's a term they use.
Those fancy terms.
So I mean, my question is, how quickly will Massey do the APO to buy? I would love if they bought both DTL or bought a heavy stake in DTL and also a heavy stake in Caribbean Dreams or buy Caribbean Dreams.
That's
that would be
that's lovely thinking right there.
Yeah, but before quickly,
I'm good at it.
Before you move further and Massey, I have a question. And I feel like those two expectations kind of answer my question already. But I wanted to tell me what kind of company is Massey going to be? What kind of company is Massey? Is it a manufacturing company or is it a holding company? And as being a holding company, would that not have them as an investment holding company? Would they not be classified under the financial as opposed to M&D?
You want me to answer as a sensible person or
as a sensible person? Or what?
No, it's all right. I'm also joined church. I have to be more conservative in the things I say. It is listed, I believe it is, I have heard it referenced and classified as a manufacturing and distribution company. And I believe the JSE lists it as such, right?
You believe?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked the site in a while. But I do believe that a holding company is a like holding of units in other companies and gaining from either the value of those units or the payoff from those units is a financial thing. And I could see very clearly how somebody could look at it as a financial thing. In fact,
JCS does finance.
Panjam is considered a financial company, don't?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say yeah.
SSLVC when they had Muse and a distribution company that gave them the majority of their money, and a research company, Blue Dot, that also gave them some money. What were they classified as at that point?
I don't know.
So holding company, financial, so holding company,
yeah. Maybe, right? But Massey, which calls itself a conglomerate and acts like a holding company for these things, is currently being seen as a manufacturing and distribution company. I guess maybe the argument could be made that it's where the majority of their revenues or profits come from.
I just think that's some distribution.
You don't think that's from distribution?
No, I think
it's from distribution.
Yeah.
JC has it listed as finance?
Yeah, I just sent you a picture.
Oh, for real?
That's what I heard earlier. That's what I was searching for right now, but I guess then I find it.
I navigated the page somehow. Don't ask me. So
Yo, the switch up.
Where you find that?
Somehow.
Did you start increasing the index? No, there's no index for that.
What do you mean?
No, there is a financial index.
So then you're asking because you asked that question specifically because there is a financial index, right?
I asked because there's no M&D, but there's financial. So.
What do you mean?
There's no M&D.
Not about select. Not about the actual index itself on JC.
No, there's no M&D.
There's none.
But there's a financial index, yeah. Or at least how they classify.
What do you mean? There is a manufacturing and distribution.
Of course, there's a manufacturing index.
Oh, all right.
Let me search JSC's page if you can find that.
Yeah, jump on it.
I know I could find it on the old page, but you know how that go.
Yeah.
That's what Select MD tracks the manufacturing and distribution index.
Which is, I think, October 3rd is when it started. If David was on, he would jump on and immediately.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, man, there is a M&D index, guys. Come on. The question is,
I think the Select M&D I think started November 2019.
Yeah, we're not
All right,
we're not talking about Sagicor selecting them, we're talking the actual index itself.
My bad.
Yeah, but
thank you.
Isn't there an M&D index that
Yes, there is.
Yeah, man.
Okay, there we go. The question then becomes, I think you guys are asking or hinting at, is which one of the companies is gonna buy the shares, Select F or Select MD?
Right.
Which one you guys? Is that what you guys were asking? By the way, I don't want to jump ahead.
That's the thinking. That was the basis of my thinking. I mean, it came to my head because you were asking about the detail and the.
Why the thought? I have a feeling I know why. Why the thought though?
Why the thought?
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you want to answer the question?
I mean, interpret it easy one.
No, it's not about the difficulty, but it's the ripple effect. What's gonna happen to the other companies in the indices?
Guys, you can't when you say the other companies in the indices, what do you mean?
Oh, you mean
all the other companies that are being tracked by those companies, so the rebalancing that's going to happen.
Oh no,
they don't need a rebalancing. They just need to buy whatever the percentage is.
Yeah.
That's the rebalancing.
No, but the thing there, again, I think that rebalancing comes from having finite money. So because it closed, if they put in something big enough, then everything else would have to go to scale. They would sell basically to get the money and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But I'm looking. You're afraid of to sell off from whatever. What I was looking at really was saying. I thought you were saying how much money they actually have to spend between each of the funds would have to spend more money. That's the line we're going down.
Oh no, not necessarily. I was looking at the other effects.
I'm truly. I don't think I'm worried about sell off too much.
Not worried, man.
Yeah, it's not.
How much money them have to sell?
It's not worried. What is it then?
Looking forward.
Well,
what
you get by everything?
Was that Massacre?
No money, man. When them get rich overnight,
I hear them,
so you buying everything them selling?
Everything look like index one.
Well, then when you say, all right, let's be serious here. Let's think it.
All right.
If they go on the M&D fund, the largest things on that fund are separate GK, right?
Right.
Carib Cement. Correct?
Right. Correct.
You think they're selling any of those three?
Probably not. No. And that's enough to move the needle anyways if they were supposed to.
How likely is it that instead they just take debt from their parent company and buy from Barita the amount of units and then hold it? Or how likely is that they bought it already on the Trinidadian market and are simply transferring it over?
Yeah, that's also highly likely. I think that they're already in the process of doing that right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, because that's what I imagine Sagicor is doing as well.
I don't think.
But then there is no great seller for you to benefit from in that case.
That's true.
Fair.
Yeah, before
who said the sell-off would happen at your price?
Come again?
Who said the sell-off would happen at your price, or even to you? Sagicor could have buy the shares on some account and hold it and sell it off to the fund or whatever. It could very easily happen without us seeing it.
That is true. And that's actually probably much more likely to happen, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So where's the point of profit then if that happens?
I mean, to be real, I'm crossing out what I was believing before because I told Danhai recently, I've been majority cash for, I'm majority cash right now, and that was in anticipation of Massey's listing and as I said, the ripple effect. And but it never really do what I would have wanted it.
Yeah, because for me, that wasn't my expectation, man. Because it's not like it's a case of where it's a straight up offer, right? It's a cross listing. It's not like a transgender. You know, so it would be a different situation entirely because it would be so much easier for the relevant parties just go straight up to the brokers who would have the shares and go for it directly and have a cross trade.
Assuming that they can get it that way, assuming that Barita is selling them it that way.
Exactly. And that's the next thing now, where my concern was the fact that, especially
the Barita.
No, they could access the overseas or whatever, right? But it's also there for them to. They still are going to want to get exposure. You see, so in my head, I was saying, majority of the other. Go ahead, what are you saying?
Suppose Barita don't want to sell them the shares because they're not correct.
I mean, I would do that.
I'm like, damn, go buy it on the market, raise my price.
Yeah, buy it on the market. Yeah, I would do that. In fact, I prefer if them do that. I think there's more that happening. Consider this though. If that's what happened, that they bought it in Trinidad ahead of time, right? To just do an inter-CSD transfer. How much do they need to buy?
No, what did I must say?
No, I didn't do the math on that, but like, I can look at the market cap, isn't it? So
I find that interesting.
Let me get this straight. You guys went to cash for weeks, if not months, and stayed in cash in anticipation of an opportunity. And you never measure what the opportunity must be?
Hasn't been weeks. Still, it's been like a little over a week. Listen,
a week still, but still terrible.
You went to cash for an opportunity that you didn't measure?
Yeah.
No, I took profit that has haven't reinvested it since, waiting for, but man.
So you're in cash.
What is the size of
the boss.
opportunity?
No, do that. Do not do that. Man say, yo, him just take profit. He said before, how much time no same go cash. No, I just do profit, I don't deploy it yet. Yo, my boss.
Take profit and stay
Come
cash.
Come on.
So then
you went to cash.
This morning.
So you went to cash.
Thing, bro.
If what?
Yeah, you say you went to cash.
You went to cash.
In anticipation
of massive. So, but no, it's just a thing that no, it doesn't take profits and chill.
Yeah, the captain to hard.
Yeah, because I'm massive. Stay cash because I'm massive.
Of a new cap.
The man pick up the cap and dust it off.
Okay, so you went to cash because I'm massive.
All I'm saying is I'm massive. We're not going on that.
So then, I expect that one would measure what the opportunity is, because you guys mentioned the select F or M, you know. Even if you don't know which one them going to, you measure if them go F, what percentage of F would Massey be? If them go M, what percentage of M would Massey be? Then, since you're not saying and doing this, you consider the possibility of the Trini market. If they went to M and it's, let's say it's 15 million units them have to buy. Has 15 million units traded in the last, let's say, 8 weeks on the Trini market? You check them thing there, right? And if not, then say, okay, it look like maybe this happening on the local market. You're worried about the funding, look at it and think, what are their top holdings? Because the easiest thing to sell if you're doing the rebalancing the hard way is that you sell the bigger units. You can't sell the smaller units. It look bad. You're not really tracking the thing, then you're just tracking the big ones. So you sell some of the bigger ones to rebalance, right? You think that company that look like them bristling hard against being the passive fund that them say they are, you think that company is going to sell GK shares right now?
No.
Not even I am selling my GK shares. And I want to. And every time I come to you for sell it, I sold my Spur tree before I sold GK. And I don't really care about it like that. Like, I know there's enough time for me to get back in. But I also feel like, that if I sell it today, 12:30, GK will come with the news 12:35.
Brother.
Remember international listing news dropped 2 days after I sell my GK. I was back there. I'm still there.
The biggest sign, the man said that the GK head said he announced that he's giving employees shares.
Share options, yeah.
But him don't work out how much yet. Like when you get a big money.
Yo, mommy have to eat. I don't know how much yet.
You get a money, man, but we don't work out how much yet. So the money is so big that we must tear off piece and get the employees.
We must get some.
Yeah, man, mommy must get. I don't know how much yet, but you must get something. You think Sajik or who at the level that they're at, they know when at the level I'm at, which is nowhere compared to them. I can tell when certain things are happening in the market. You can tell when there's a certain almost sort of tension, anticipation. You think Sagicor sell any GK in Q1 of 2022?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
So then probably I borrow some money then, right? And we don't know for sure, but you're going to shore up that, because if you don't sure about your guess, you look at all the possibilities that can string off it, and you pin them down as much as you can. So maybe the bought on the trading market. Check and sort the volumes on the trading market. There have been some volumes trading on the trading market, but the question is it to the size that it would be that you could say, okay, this is almost certainly Sagicor buying in Trinidad? Or anybody else. I mean, you guys know the pensions buy in Jamaica.
Yeah.
You think there's any smart pensions that go, yo, let me go and buy some over in Trinidad? I mean, I know people have gone and bought over in Trinidad, and they're just regular people.
Same.
So, what do you think? If you're serious about the thing, serious enough forgot to cash, it must hard. What yourself forgot to cash? Tell me, CPJ doesn't go and laugh.
Yeah, we know somebody though.
But you think that
no, we know somebody know, and then I don't know in the back like the John No Star.
You speak for yourself. I said someone speak for me. Not go on that. Definitely something but it be like that sometimes.
We need to have an episode with just you guys again, because this is good. But we just want to sell some CPG and some Dolphin Cove. Thank you, by the way.
Fuck. Wait. Load up another cup. Well, yeah, man. Oh, that's going to be a lovely February as well, man.
Thank you for the contribution, sir.
No, that's going to be a lovely February as well. Oh,
yeah,
man.
and March is also looking hot. April looking hot. The year actually look good. It look
telling
like
you, man. I'm telling you, roaring 2022. Right?
I'm scared. I don't know what could stop it.
Not at all, man. It's even when I'm trying to go through the JC website right now.
Was it 2020?
What's that?
Yeah, 2020 was also 2020 was gearing up.
It was also the year, and then nothing could have stopped it.
And then
I said that.
Yeah, careful them thought they jinx me.
Yeah.
Fair.
Still Russia and China for chill, but yeah, you're saying you're going through the website.
Yeah, man. But even when just trying to go through the website with as much difficulty as I could, I noticed a lot of things, like even how they change up fee structures for the information, right? So, for example, now when you could get a whole lot of information just like that, yeah, they're offering it now at a subscription basis, right? So anything I think over a year. Yeah.
Wait, TJC talking?
No, the JC with JC. So I'm looking at it now. JC is definitely trying to scrape up as much capital as they can, or to scrape up more capital than they were before, right? That look like they're trying more. Since years start. See?
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
They're a for-profit company.
Of course. I'm not wrong them for that, but I'm looking at it. So with even that now, so they're trying to rake in more revenues from their online offerings. I see them even with the conference the other day. I think it was like about like $80 or $120 per ticket. All the listings that are coming across, increasing the cess fees. And I said, no, but wait, JC serious for the money this year.
I hope so.
I'd love to think so.
So you guys know that you can get the some wonderful information off mymoneyja.com, right?
Oh yeah, man. I think I heard about the site there, man. Bridging them say it bad, man.
But they're afraid.
But
yeah, man, for sure.
But they're afraid. I don't know if I keep correcting people when them say JC start charging. JC has always charged.
They've always been charging, even if you wanted to get like the ticker. So for example, if you wanted to build out a website and have the running ribbon with all the ticker symbols and updated pricing, I think it's about 2K US per year, something like so.
That's funny. And here, little did we. It's a little. Wow, surprise,
Yeah,
surprise.
But My Money JA has all that information. We don't have a running ticker, but we prefer if you look at all of them and you control the ticker.
Exactly.
And yeah, it has always been expensive, and I hope they keep raising it. And I like their new website. I don't know if there's I feel like it's just me and Mrs. Street Forest that like that website, but sometimes you have to go against the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I like it. And if you can't afford that stuff, you can go to mymoneyja.com.
Absolutely.
And we have paid accounts, but we also have free accounts. You can get that, and we give you a lot of data. I think our data. I know that we don't display as much data as we have. We haven't done that yet, but I think you definitely get 2 years, I believe, even if you're a free user. You can get 2 years of data. Yeah.
And even with just the 2 years, that's still a whole lot of information that you can take and action and use to help inform your decisions, for sure.
I know, because I pay for it and we're giving it away for free, so I'm aware. I'm aware, but
comes back in spades, my friend.
Yeah, I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so, but
so you can hear bottom line.
Yeah, I like when we're looking at for the market. So give me one last thing before we call it a night. Now, since you guys all bundle up and forward, give one last. Sorry, I should say that. I want to say that, but I'm so sorry. I forget that there are other people in here, and I should be that. So thank you, gentlemen, very much. You don't have to come out of the space. You can stay there, but let me just get a voice from Limit Breaker, and then Parcheesi, and then Natasha, and then we call it a night.
Stop. Go through.
Limit Breaker. Sorry, Limit Breaker. How are you doing? Matthew?
Oh, yo. Oh, hey.
Nah, you forget your Twitter name.
So you get that you know.
Yeah, I had actually just put on to speak when you guys were speaking about like Massey Gas or Gas Pro. The thing with I read on it recently. The thing with the oxygen, or what I got from the article, was that I think they were already importing oxygen from Massey Gas in Trinidad, and then they were helping to distribute oxygen medical oxygen, but then they were, I guess it was kind of similar to how with cargo handlers and carb cement, where the cargo handlers just moves like a small amount, and then carb cement really moves the most cement. So it was IGLs really moving most of the oxygen in Jamaica, but Massey, or not Massey, but Gas Pro Jamaica was moving some oxygen. That's what I was saying.
So that's all right.
Yeah, so they weren't making it, because they make it in Trinidad. IGL makes it in Jamaica. Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's just like a point of clarification, but IGL.
Yeah, that.
Well, I think the talk has been to break up the
monopoly
stranglehold that IGL would have had over the industry, and I personally wouldn't have minded if there was an IPO for a medical oxygen company. I know that medical oxygen across, not just in Jamaica, but across the region, is something that Massey put a lot of effort and resources into over the last year or two. So let's just say I will not be surprised if Massey does an APO or when Massey does an APO. Yeah. And they have many reasons to do APOs.
Yep.
I hope one of them is to buy Caribbean Dreams or to buy that little piece of detail. Or who knows what else.
Massey's big enough to APO could afford them a lot.
Oh yeah. And of course, I would love if they didn't do an APO. I'd love instead if they did a rights issue. I am still against APOs.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, wishful thinking. You have to speak it into being. Rights issue is the right thing.
Yeah. we are the crowd, you know. These are I hate the idea that so we're a publicly listed company, whatever. We literally buy these things. If we do not like it, we don't have them. There's no point where this is forced on us. All right. So if enough people don't like it, then it just can't happen.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. And I maintain that APOs, I don't like them, and I don't think they should be done, and I don't think they're the best way. That's why I'd have to ask permission to break the rules for them. Break the rules for them, in my opinion. Yeah, we should have rights issues, because APOs are still a rights issue for the majority shareholder. It's just us, the small man and woman, that get shafted. So I'm not for that. Yeah, I'm not for that. All right, who that? The conservative one?
Man, I made up, man.
Sir Parcheesi or Ma'am Parcheesi. I can't actually tell who it is. It just says Parcheesi.
No, it's Sir Parcheesi.
Okay, Sir
All right,
Parcheesi. Evening.
what's up?
Yes, so I just want to speak about two companies that I think, because everybody is talking about CPJ and Dolphin Cove now, but looking at the future, because we invest to see what will happen in the future to get better rewards. And I think SSLVC, watching the deal that is going to take place, if it takes place, because I think this new company probably will raise funds somehow after they acquire the company. And also the JSC, if the market shapes up properly like what most people is expecting for this year, then probably the news will push the stock price up further because it fallen a lot since COVID from I think 20 something dollars coming all the way to 15 to 16, and I think it have potential to go back up also. So I'm keeping my eyes on both of them right now.
I like how you think. I like how you think.
Yes,
Should I say the first point? I think
Yeah,
was in the second point, but the first point does.
Yeah, with
It
SSL.
seems well thought out.
Yeah, man, SSL, but I see a lot of people there like rubbishing the price right now, but
Yeah, that's always the case.
I don't know what we will do if it fly to 4 or more. So we will
Check what
just see.
happened. Check what happened when Key Insurance
remember when
was
Grace
going through, even before. There was a little spike before,
Check
and the
what
people
happened
who
when
were
Barita
buying then,
announced.
yeah. At this point, it's almost par for the course that if the right set of people say what you're doing on the market is wrong, you're almost guaranteed to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like how you think, and I actually especially like that JC point because a lot of JC's income is not just trading based, but also they get a lot of fees as a percentage of market caps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means
yeah,
they make money from the
is,
total. Exactly.
Yeah. Massey only has to go up a little bit more to be larger than NCD in terms of market cap.
Yep.
I'm just hoping a lot of people don't think like that until everything start play out, because at that time I will be buying already and buying at cheap, waiting to sell them some shares.
I give you and everybody else a tip. If you're sure and you've done your research and you're sure about what you're buying, don't be surprised that nobody's talking about it. Danhai and I, there are lots of companies still that we don't talk about publicly. Because we're not, especially because I know if I say something, it will draw some amount of interest. So sometimes we just have to keep quiet and appreciate the silence, because when everybody start talk, then the party get nice. And I'll cap that off by reminding you that, at least if you follow me on Twitter, you should remember that there's a point, I think in January or July or somewhere, I showed a contract note of me purchasing CPJ when it was definitely stupid to be buying CPJ because everybody know that it was bad. And it's not, it's about understanding what you're buying and why you're buying it and making a decision without the crowd, because the crowd isn't there to help you until you're ready to sell. All right. So
I understand why you bought CPJ at that time. I was in the grower class this week, and based on how you went through the finance, you can see why.
Okay, well, you'd have heard some of the things I said that I won't say here, but you'd have heard what I was looking for, which is not the typical thing.
Yeah, I know what you were looking for, and I remember in the class also people were asking if it's still time to buy CPJ. So if they went off, whatever you said, that they will be increasing, because today I think it went up 15%. So during that time,
let us also tell the public that my answer was I cannot tell you that, but I did go on to explain a lot more of my thinking behind it. And you also, if you're in the class, you know that I like you understand how I explain things. You have an understanding that maybe somebody who hasn't done grow yet wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, man. Was it worth it, by the way? It was worth the 85 US?
It's worth it. I want to come back in the class Saturday because especially the part where going through the finance.
All right, no man.
Hey, can't give the top to some boss.
Hey, you can't water on the thing. Thank you very much and big up, sir.
All right.
All right, cool. Natasha, and then we're gonna definitely call it at night because it's 12:25.
Natasha, what's up? Big up.
Natasha Swell 6. I don't know if you can hear her.
If you don't say it.
Natasha,
Yeah,
like to drop asleep.
Night.
Natasha,
I just wanted
what's
to
up?
ask, not much. Danhai will be seeing you
Soon, yes, indeed.
Yeah. Randy, you don't have any more grow starting early February?
No. What's there is what's there. I don't even doing that, People message me. I see the thing. February booked out. You have any more in February?
It's Randy asking if you have any grow early February because I see one for tomorrow, but tomorrow the time 10:30 tomorrow morning is kind of old for me.
You say one for when?
No,
10:30 tomorrow. She said she see a grower for 10:30 tomorrow.
I thought she meant me 10:30 tomorrow.
No,
no, that night. First of all, you can always tell which one is booked by looking on the website, but you can also add the calendar, and the calendar will always show you what's what. I think the next grower is February. It is February 22nd. I think the split on the 22nd and the 23rd, and the full is on the 26th.
Look how far that.
Sorry, ma'am. Well, there's one tomorrow morning, and as soon as I go sleep and wake up, I do one.
10:30 too early for me on a Saturday. So
I understand. Me too, usually, but I make the time for grow. But try this now. Come on, you know, have to wake up yet. I'm not have a force you for put on your clothes, everything. Just keep your camera off until you're ready, and then you can turn on your camera and come in. You can just go and listen and participate vocally.
No,
from bed even.
I have other stuff, other commitments.
Okay, I understand. Well, and yeah, if you want, you can try the subscription, be in the group with us, talk it through, and then you'd be surprised how much the time run off until the first split grow.
All right.
I might be doing a grow earlier in February, but it would be for people. It would be for people who have already done it.
Okay.
And maybe want a refresher. A lot of people have done it over the last 2.5 years, and I know some people might want a refresher, so I'm going to be doing something for them. But for you might want to join the group and talk and learn the stuff there. By the time you get around to doing the grow in February on the 22nd, you will be, if you take it serious, you'll be more than ready by then. And a lot can and probably will happen between now and the end of February. So
that's it. All right.
Consider it.
Okay.
No problem. All right. I am going to say thank you to everybody who took the time out to message us. Thank you, of course, Danhai, for being an alert co-host this week and a working phone. They never sort up your phone this week, thankfully.
So
yeah, so
thank
you very, very much. Thank you everybody for joining in. And our Brick Talk, we've gone a lot longer than I expected we would. And for the people doing grow tomorrow, I will see you bright and early at 10:30. Everybody else, I'll end with this. Just a reminder: follow the My Money JA Twitter account. When we hit 1,000 users, we're going to start doing